a little smaller. I'm gonna leave this here so we can see her name. Perfect. And then I'm gonna move myself to, where's my camera? Where's my camera? Where is it? Cam. Oh, it's locked. Okay, cam. You can be a little bigger tonight. Oh, bunny. Okay, I should have done this before stream. But I didn't. So, alright, see ya. Thank you for dropping by. I'm just gonna be here, so, I mean, yeah. But thank you for dropping by. I shall see you next time when I'm struggling with the language, probably. I think... Okay, let me see what I need. First of all, what are all these messages? Oh, okay. Alright. Let me get my stuff to get ready. Should I put the heat up or should I just watch? Oh, I guess it was an ad. Anyway, I was saying thank you for dropping by. I'll see you when I see ya. But let's start the drama for Foca Chisme. Let's get right into it.
36. Who the fuck did I marry? The family tree. Please fasten your seatbelts.
I'm ready.
And put the tray tables in the upright position.
Ooh.
Let's go. All right. The cousin. I'm not going to name her. The cousin had reached out to me on Facebook, asked me to please give her a call. So this conversation was on the phone. Yes, I was actually speaking to her. She informs me again about the whole he's up there. He's telling everyone that he walked in on me cheating on him.
All right, so I was going to say this. He was going to make something up. I was going to say this and I forgot. I knew he was going to make something up because obviously he can't be the loser. He can't be taking else out here. He also can't tell us a truth to save himself. I mean, if I get one more notification, I'm taking it off. Like, I don't... hello? And I just said that I got another notification. Jesus Christ. But...
35.
Wait, what the fuck? Did I click something? Oh, I did. On accident. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, 36. But yeah, I knew he was going to make something up. I knew he was going to take an L. Man can't take an L to save himself. Anyway.
Part 36. Who the fuck did I marry? The family tree. Please fasten your seatbelts and put the tray tables in the upright position. Let's go. All right. The cousin. I'm not going to name her. The cousin had reached out to me on Facebook, asked me to please give her a call. So this conversation was on the phone. Yes, I was actually speaking to her. She informs me again about the whole he's up there. He's telling everyone that he walked in on me cheating on him.
Yeah, sure.
It was with a law enforcement officer, and that the law enforcement officer used his duty weapon to threaten him to get him out of the house.
This man has an imagination.
I'm particularly mentioning the fact that he said it was law enforcement is because he was trying to get a family member, like one of his cousins, to call the agency of the law enforcement officer and file a complaint, which in hopes would then start an internal affairs
for the imaginary man.
Yeah. So, female cousin is on the phone with me. She's telling me everything that he is telling them. She's like, look, we know he a liar.
Oh.
We don't fuck with him. He's been a liar since a kid, but he's also family. She said, we didn't know at all who you are. So I thought that was interesting because I was like, you didn't know who I was, but his brother knew who I was.
Supposedly.
And so, again, that's when I said to her that I was like, he's talked to his brother every day. So why would the brother tell y'all that he had gotten married?
This poor girl.
And so she said, what brother?
Oh.
And so I told her the brother's name. And she said, he told you that? I said, he was having the phone calls in front of me. So at this point, what the cousin said was, she was like, okay, I'm going to confirm that with him. She was like, he lives up the street. So I'm going to just confirm that with him.
She said, let me walk over there real quick.
I'm pretty sure that they have been beefing for a while.
Ooh.
I was like, I can only tell you
what I know, yeah.
What I saw, what I heard. That's all I can say. So then when she asked me about, well, how many brothers do you think he has? And
2.
I said he has 4 brothers.
Oh, 4.
Again, I listed all of them. This woman,
he's got 2, I think, or some shit,
he has
right?
2 brothers.
Ooh.
She said he has the twin, And he has the older brother.
And now we know he has
the
twin.
one that he was on the phone with
Which is
every
crazy.
morning. Blah, 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 blah. I said twin.
Twin. Where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do.
So this is where she explained to me. She said the parents, mom and dad, had the older brother. Mm-hmm. The older brother is about 5 or 6 years older than Legion. Legion and the younger brother, who lives in Nashville, they are twins. So when he kept saying the younger brother, my younger brother by 2 years, it's his older brother by 20 minutes.
Damn.
They are twins. I have seen a picture of this brother. Yes, they do very much look alike, but I didn't know they were twins. It doesn't even matter. I didn't know they were twins. But definitely they had the same mom and dad. So she was like, no, that he's older than Legion by 20 minutes. They're twins. She said, so the parents had 3 boys. Mm-hmm. Brother in Philly, the older brother, and the twins. She was like, who the hell are these sisters that you talking about?
Ooh.
So I tell her, I was like, Shantae and Kim.
Who the fuck is Shantae and Kim?
She said, I don't know who Shantae is. She said, Kim is my daughter.
Oh.
Kim is not his sister. Kim is my daughter. And she said, that's his cousin. She was like, and they haven't spoken in about 20 years.
20 years.
So, no, that's not his sister. He does not have any sisters. And I said, well, then what about the other 2 brothers? She was like, what other 2 brothers?
Oh.
I said, the brothers from his dad. She was like, you mean to tell me this man is going around telling people, I know somebody's going to quote Nicki Minaj, lying on your dead mama, but try not to.
That's what I was thinking.
She says, you mean to tell me this man is walking around lying on his dad, saying that his dad had kids outside of his mom?
That's crazy, bro.
And I
ruining his reputation.
Yeah.
Ruining his whole reputation.
She said, I have no idea who those 2 men are. She said, those are not his brothers. But if y'all remember, I've met those 2. And he introduced them as...
his brothers.
You know, man, this is my brother John. This is my brother Matt.
Yeah, but it could be friends,
type
so.
thing. And so they both were like, oh, my sister, it's good to meet you. It's good to meet you. Remember that, because obviously I do eventually talk to those 2 men again. So she says to me, the family tree is mom and dad, the 3 sons. She was like, there are no sisters. She said, I don't have a clue who Shantae is. She said, Kim is my daughter, so that's just their cousin. But again, they ain't spoken 20 years. I said, okay, and then there was the grandmother. She said, yeah. She named the grandmother. She was like, yeah, she died in like 2008. Yep. I said, yeah, he told me that she died in 2020. And that, you know, all of you were coming down for the memorial service. And she's just like, she died in 2008. I said, then there was the uncle who also died from COVID. She was like,
uncle.
Which uncle is that? I told her the name. She said, he's been dead since like, 2010.
Lying on dead people is crazy. I would never. That's dangerous. I would absolutely not. Ruining that a man's reputation like that after he's dead, saying his grandma died in 2008. He's not scared of the dead enough for me. I don't play with that. I don't play with that. I don't think anybody should play with that. I don't play with that. I don't, absolutely not. I don't play with that.
I said, okay, what about the cousin nicknamed Junebug? Everybody got a cousin. If you're not African American, we all know a Junebug somewhere. And she just was like, oh yeah, you know, cousin Junebug. She was like, man, that's crazy what happened to him. And I was like, what do you mean what happened to him? Because I know he has talked to his cousin Junebug on the phone.
He's dead, isn't he?
Like a few months prior. He was like, and so she said to me, she said, yeah, he had passed away in like 2016.
Everybody, he's lying on every single dead person he's ever met. I knew he was a liar, but lying on dead people is something else. That's different. That's just different.
So this is now 3 people that she's named that I recall him having either a story about or a phone call with, and she's telling me that they are all passed away. So this is when the conversation kind of changes, and she's like, you know what? She said, let me speak to the older brother.
See if they talked in a minute.
Because he probably wants to talk to you. She was like, you probably should talk to him, and a lot of your answers, a lot of your questions will get answered. She was like, this dude's been lying ever since he was a kid.
Which is crazy.
She was like, she said, literally, we don't fuck with him. I remember her saying that verbatim. She
lying
was so
your whole
adamant.
life is crazy,
she was like,
bro.
And when he showed up here out the blue,
they knew something was
talking
up.
about how his wife cheated on him with a law enforcement officer.
They knew it was a lie.
And how the guy took his gun out and threatened him to leave the house. She was like, we knew something was up. She was like, that's why I had to find out who you were.
That sound wild.
And reach out to you and find out the truth. I said, there was no other guy. There was no law enforcement officer. And she was like, yeah, because he was telling us where the dude worked and how we should go ahead and file, like help him file a complaint so that this dude could lose his job. I said, there is no other person. I said, I kicked him out. That was me.
Yep.
All by myself. No gun, just my fist.
Just the fist and the anger.
And so she said, you know, he telling us that he had got married, and then she was like, apparently y'all had a baby. So she was like, so you got a kid with him?
Whoa.
So I had to explain to her. I said, no. I said I had a miscarriage back in back in June
this
of 2020.
This man smoking crack, y'all.
I had to have surgery in July.
This man smoking
so
crack.
Was just like, girl. So she started like really being encouraging and was saying, you dodged a bullet, honey.
Yep.
She was like, I don't wish this. She's like, I know he my family, but I don't wish him on no woman.
Hell no.
So we've have each other's numbers. She was like, if you need anything,
hit me up.
Feel free to call me. She was like, I've had my own issues with him. I've had my own issues in life. But she was like, get your divorce.
Yep, girl, immediately.
Be done with him.
Immediately.
Then she said, I'm going to put you in contact with the older brother.
What's going on?
Next part is me finally talking to the older brother that he had been talking to every morning.
I can't wait.
Part 37, who the fuck did I marry? So, at this point in time, I have five...
No, this comment is real. Like, if he would have put that effort into anything else, he could be the president. He could be the owner of a company. Honestly, if he put this much effort into a real life, it will be over. Like, I put this much effort into life that he's putting into, but in real life, like, in reality. Like, I don't live in fairy tale land. We're not out here living in Cinderella land. Like, I don't know what he even thinks that all these lives are going to lead to. You can't stack up anything that much. Like, you can't stack up that many pens, that many shirts, that many anything. It's gonna fall down. This man's acting like he's a toddler. Jesus, he needs to live by himself in the woods. Because if he can't tell a single lie, the only people he should be lying to is bears and ducks out there. Like,
Filed for divorce. I paid for the filing fee. I'm representing myself pro se.
I'm nervous.
And it should be an uncontested
Because what the fuck
divorce.
is he going to say?
During this time,
Because he's going to lie to the judge, I just know.
to Philly, lied to his family,
of
and
course.
said I had cheated on him.
Yep.
That he caught me, and that the guy I cheated on him with was a law enforcement officer who used his gun to threaten him to get out the house. None of that was true. At some point while he was in Philly, he ran out of options in terms of where he could stay. Family members did not want him to stay with them.
Of course not. Like, he's insane.
Burned,
what?
According to the female cousin I had talked to on the phone. So he left Philly and went to Augusta. Yes, what you were hearing is correct. He drove from Georgia to Philly, stayed in Philly for about 3-4 days, left Philly, drove back to Georgia, went to Augusta. Keep in mind, if you
not from there,
have lost your notes at this point, he was raised in Philly and did high school in Augusta before he went to California. So
He's
he
nuts.
has family in Augusta.
Okay. Family.
So at this point,
we'll see.
He's on his way to Augusta to stay with a new set of people. The reason why this is important is because what I have is a divorce settlement agreement. That divorce settlement agreement has to be signed by the two of us, where we are basically telling the court, look, this is what he's keeping, this is what I'm keeping. I need his signature. Let me repeat that.
Hold on. It's called a divorce settlement agreement. Hold on. I need this information. 1 second. I'm writing that down. Don't worry about what I'm writing it down for. Divorce settlement agreement. Divorce settlement agreement. This is the letter A. Agreement. This is what I'm keeping. This is what I'm keeping. And he's keeping. She said needs both signatures. Needs both signatures. Okay, got that. Okay, let me use a highlighter. Don't worry about why I'm writing that down. Don't worry about it at all. Okay, I just knew there was a word for this, but I couldn't find it because I didn't know what to look up. But now that I got that, amazing. Anyway, let's get back to it.
I need his signature because I wanted a very quick,
painless
divorce,
yeah,
as much as it could be. So by this time,
he ain't gonna sign it. I just know it. He ain't gonna sign it.
Around June 25th. So around June 25th, he's now in Augusta. He had left the house June 17th. So between June 17th and June 24th is the trip to Philly, then leaving Philly, coming to Augusta. My aunt and my little cousin get in the car with me, and I drive to Augusta.
A road trip?
With a rag on my head, some sweatpants, and a tank top, because it's July, so it's hot. But we ride to Augusta.
A road trip. We're going on a trip.
I had spoken to him.
Favorite rocket trip.
I had said, I just need you to sign this piece of paper. And he was like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
No.
And
right now.
Get to it as quickly as possible.
Yep.
So if that means I got to drive to Augusta tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock,
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do that because I need that signature.
Yep.
I ain't telling this. This was my attitude.
Yep.
Sure enough, went ahead, drove down there. I met him at the UPS store in Augusta. It's in the same Kroger shopping center. They had a notary there.
I was gonna say, I was hoping she had somebody watch them both do this. Notary's perfect. That's a legally binding document. Because I know he was gonna be like, she forged my signature. We don't need that. A notary. Hold on. Notary to make legal binding. Notary to make proceedings legally binding. Amazing. Anyway, I'm back to it.
Because I needed the papers to be notarized. So he pulls up. It's only been a week since I last saw him.
Well, that was pretty quick.
It has been months since my aunt saw him.
Yeah.
Okay. She had no idea of the condition.
Oh, I just remembered. He was going through the whole pain thingy. Yeah.
When I met him, when he met my family, he was like a size 3X. In just a short span of time for a week.
He was like...
He easily could have been in an extra large. Maybe even a large.
Holy shoot.
But was wearing 3X clothes.
Oh.
So he has told me...
He ain't got no money to buy new clothes.
He didn't know I had spoken to his family. Okay? Probably need to put that in there. He did not know I had spoken to his cousin. So he was telling me that he had a place to stay. He was staying
he's
with
homeless.
some family members, and everything was cool. He told me he was going back to Augusta because he had a job. You believe that? That's what he told me.
And we believe that.
The family member, the cousin, told me, "Oh no, it's not that he had a job. We kicked his ass out because he's still lying, and we don't want anything to do with it." No. So when I saw him get out the car,
he lives in that car.
I immediately knew
that he was living in the car.
You probably have not washed in 3 days. I'm not overreacting. His nails had not been cut, so his nails were a bit long. He smelled like the Chattahoochee dump on a hot summer Georgia day. He stunk so bad.
I would have thrown up. I can already think about it, and
for a moment, I did not recognize the man that I was legally married to. I did not recognize him. He almost looked. What's the word? Emaciated. I may be mispronouncing it.
Yeah.
But the way
I know what you mean,
looks when they've lost so much weight and it's almost like your skin and bones. He looked homeless. He smelled homeless.
He was homeless. He was living in a car for sure.
My heart just kind of broke. It kind of did. I'll be honest, it kind of broke. It did not break enough for me to not get that signature.
No.
So
because you can feel bad for somebody, but not that bad. Like I've known people that have ended up like homeless because of their own actions and their own lies and drinking problems and all that, and you'll feel bad, but you also know that they had chances, right? Like when you know someone's story in a certain way, like she knows this man's story, you feel bad, but you know they could have done something to not be where they are right now, but they decided to not. They decided to keep lying and keep gaslighting themselves and thinking everything's okay. And so this is why we're here now. But that's what, like, it's okay for her to feel bad. Of course, I feel bad about people that I see on the streets all the time. But I can't do anything about that. It's the same. Like, at that point, you feel bad because that person's homeless and obviously going through something. But not enough to you're like, I'm going to pick you up and clean you. No, because you know why he's here. Like, I feel bad to a point where I'm like, I wish I could help this person when I see somebody that's homeless. Like, even with kids, like, my heart just breaks. I'm like, I wish I could help. But when you know someone's background story and you know why they're there, and you know it was their own bad, they're just a terrible person, this is why you're here right now, and you're like, okay, so I feel bad because I have sympathy, but I'm not gonna get involved in this. Like, you're gonna have to take that out and, like, figure this out. But, like, see what she's saying.
When he walked into the UPS store, you clearly could see that some of the people were like,
ooh.
Let me...
It's happened to me before. It's happened to me before. Where you want to, like, act like nothing's happening. You're like,
okay, so I just need you to sign right here. And I just need you to sign right there. Okay, and then a woman named Lauren came over and notarized the papers.
It's a quick process.
Then we were done.
Yeah, it's a quick process.
He signed a divorce agreement.
And that's
it.
He
didn't even read it.
Ooh.
He didn't even read it. Reason why I'm pointing that out is because he didn't read the part where what's left in the house now belongs to me.
Dumbass.
Where he took technically
his stuff.
He was going to take. Everything else in that home.
He took his shit.
Remember, I told y'all
he left all his watches, the shoes.
He left all his WWE championship belts.
She can sell all that. Good money.
A lot of his clothes, his Cole Haans. He had left all that stuff. He never even read the divorce agreement.
He didn't care enough to read it, so that's his problem. You gotta read everything you sign.
I signed it. Lauren notarized it.
Yep.
We leave the store, and I said, "Have you eaten?" And he was like, "Yeah."
She's nice enough to ask.
Just, my knee.
God bless her soul.
So again, he's talking about the knee, but if you saw him, you would know
it's something else. It's something else.
So I said to him, "Look, since you met me here, let me give you some money so you can get you some chicken nuggets." Yeah, that's what I said. You can get you some chicken nuggets. So I believe I gave him like $5 or $6. Go get you some chicken. I think I Zelled it to him, actually. Go get you
just get you some chicken nuggets, sir.
Then because where he parked was not far. It was like, okay, I'm parked here. He's parked in front of me in the other row. So there's that aisle that you can drive down. So I walked him to the car. And I saw the condition of the inside of the car.
Oh, he was living in there, yeah, for sure.
That's when I knew he's been living in his car.
Yeah, for sure.
He's been living in his car. So
he lied himself out of house and home.
I no longer had a question of, so where's his offshore account?
Lied himself out of house and home.
Where's the U.S. Bank savings account? Where's the checking account? Didn't have that question anymore.
No, I mean, there's
because
nothing.
If you had money, you wouldn't be living in your car.
Hell no.
You would not be in the same clothes that you were in when you left my house on June 17th. And this is now June 25th.
Yo, wouldn't. Absolutely not. At least hotel, Airbnb, something. But.
he was like, I'm gonna be all right. I'm about to start a new job.
Good for you.
I'm gonna be cool.
Good.
I got a family member I can stay with. Everything's gonna be okay. All right. I said I will let you know when the divorce is
Finalized.
granted.
Yep.
I said I will send you a copy of the divorce decree. And he was like, okay. He said, well, how long you think that's gonna take? I said, I'm not sure. I thought I had to wait 30 days before I could file the divorce agreement settlement form, and then the judge would grant it in 30 days. So basically, this is like June 25th. I'm looking at the end of August.
Okay, pretty quick.
That it would take for the divorce to be
3 days is
granted,
fine.
assuming there were no hiccups, assuming he didn't decide he was gonna pull a fast one.
I'm hoping he doesn't.
So
But
I told him, I was like,
it's
I'm
part
gonna
37 out of
file this,
50
and then
too.
once we get the
So
divorce decree, I'll send you a copy. He said, okay. He got in his car. I got in my car. I drove.
he got in his house.
All
She got
the
in her
way
car.
back home, and he went to wherever he went. Next part is the next series of lies that I was facing.
Oh Lord Jesus Christ!
All right, part 38 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
This fit kind of eats.
I'm
the
gonna
hair kind of eats. She's looking cute.
call this housekeeping and missing pieces.
Oh, okay.
So, housekeeping. First and foremost, as much as I know you all have enjoyed this series, and some of you have told me how entertaining you have found it, the story will be done this weekend. So, in other words, I don't care how many parts I gotta film. It will be done this weekend. We're not gonna drag it into the new week. So I just want to let everyone know that. So please be sure to tell your sisters, your mamas, your aunties, your cousins, your best friends, hey y'all, go ahead and watch all the parts, because
Wait, I did this with my mom yesterday when she came home from work. I told her the whole story until like part 35, and she was like, ain't no way this is real. Ain't no way this is real. I was like, girl, I think it's real. I mean, it sounds real to me. I mean, honestly, COVID, and when you gaslight yourself. And I told her that because of religion and stuff, she felt like she was too old to like be single and stuff. And she knows people that have actually got married to like people they don't love, they don't like that much, because they're like, I'm too old to be single. Like, she knows. She knows what we're talking about. And then when I told her that the marriage counselor from the church was like, she was like, oh, so it was bad. And I'm like, yeah, they went to like the counselor and everything. And he was like, And you know, people from like Christian and like religious stuff, like they usually fight for you to stay together unless you're in danger. Like if you're in danger, they're like, girl, you don't need us to call somebody? What's going on? Call somebody. You want me to call somebody? Like for real? Not like Legion, but like actually call somebody. Like we could get you like out of the house today. Like, so when I heard that they were like down for her to leave this man, she was like, oh, because usually they're very much, let's prepare this, let's put a band-aid on it. Like it's very much, could we bandage this down? But even they were like, food for funds? And he was like, that's weird. That's sus. Why are you so weird about food for funds? Because when we moved here, my mom told me this, she was like, wait, why was he so... Because I think I messed up the parts when I was like, oh, like, they asked for food for funds. And the second time I talked about food for funds, she was like, why is he so weird about food for funds? Like, they asked us for, like, 2 different houses we were thinking about when we were moving here. And we just right away got, like, whatever they needed. And I'm like, exactly, because we don't have any secrets. We don't have any secrets. We both, at the same, in one car... left, like, if we came in 2 cars, like, because maybe I was at work and she was at work, so we just met somewhere, we would leave, like, one of the 2 cars there if it was enough time to go to the bank and come back, and we would literally just go to the bank same day. Like, even for the car, they asked for funds, we would leave 1 car, go and come back. Like, if you don't got secrets with your food for funds, you just show it. But when you have a little trouble, when you have no funds, and you're getting asked for food for funds, like, right now, if I get asked for funds, I would have to be like, no, because, and like, if you see, but back in the day, when I was like having my good job, when I was looking for the house, I was like, here's the proof of funds. There you go. Have fun with the proof of funds. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but it's also a copy. It's also like an original, but I could just like get another one so you can keep that. Like, that's how, like, I was like, Like, do you need, like, anything else? Any other paperwork? Like, he's over here being weird.
She's wrapping it up this weekend.
Wrapping it up.
But I'll leave the playlist up, so don't worry.
38 out of 52, also, so wrapping it up, I don't know.
I'm sorry for the people who were like, I keep talking really slow. I didn't know that I was, and they're like,
oh, no, that's okay.
Long-winded. I'm very detailed.
Yep.
So that's probably what you're feeling, is that I'm detailed.
It's a detail.
I'm trying to get everything out, again, in a responsible
And it's a lot
manner.
of information, too. It's a lot.
So, you all have asked me if I will do a live. Yes, I will. I don't have any issue doing a live. I feel like if you're going to put the story out there, you know you're going to get questions. So if you stand on business and you stand on what you said, do the live. So yes, I will do a live, and I will let you all know when I'm gonna do a live. So it won't just be some random shit. I will actually do a live and let everyone know. So that way, if you have questions, bring them. The issue with doing a live is that I need moderators. So, because I just anticipate a lot of people have questions and I'm just one person, and I don't want to be accused of she's ignoring my question, which means there's holes in her story. Y'all, we all know how TikTok is. So, but I will absolutely do a live.
Yes, I am.
That's the housekeeping. Missing pieces. So when I said before that it's important to me that I'm responsible in how I tell this story, meaning I'm clear and I go in detail, I realized that I left out some missing parts. And it was brought to my attention by a number of you. Thank you, because I'm all for accountability.
Let me put the heat up.
I did not go into how my ex-husband, Legion, left the condiment company and then went to Apple. I also did not go into detail on when my mom came to visit. Both of those were in the month of April. I was going to go into detail a little bit more on the Apple situation because, as you probably have figured out, of course something came out later on. But nevertheless, in terms of April of 2021, my mom came for a visit. She lived in Arkansas. She came to visit us. She came to visit us after we had that whole sexting on Facebook incident and just after we had started marital counseling. There were no fireworks during her visit. Nothing was weird. I did talk about how, my family has always been there. And if you spoke with my mom, she would tell you she didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Everything was chill.
But there was something in her spirit that just didn't sit right.
Something was up, but everything was normal.
She didn't talk to me about it at the time. She did not raise her concerns. She simply, when she came to visit, we welcomed her with open arms. Legion was excited to meet her. She was excited to meet him. We took my mom out to eat. It was a typical, very quiet, non-active visit. I didn't know what my mother thought until later on. So she didn't share with me during the visit, something don't seem right. She and I sat in the guest room talking. I never told her anything that was going on. Number one, because again, it goes back to that mindset of what happens in my marriage needs to stay in my marriage. No. And I talk about how I didn't think looking back, it was not a good idea that I told my aunt what had happened. My aunt is not the type that's going to tell my mother. That in other words, if you confide in her, she keeps it
as it should
between
be,
you and
honestly.
Her. So my mom never knew that there were any issues. And so there was nothing for her to be on mama bear mode.
Because she didn't know what was happening. Like I said,
this would have been a very different trip. But she didn't know.
She didn't know. So
she did come to visit. Everything went fine. He and I put on a united front. Oh, we're so happy. We're so, in love. And yes, behind the scenes was a whole different story. He talked to her about how he was looking to buy a house and how he told her how work was going, how his job, how his job was going, bragging as usual, which I did tell my mom, look, he's going to talk about himself and money a lot. So, just change the subject.
Yep.
If he brings up a house, change the subject. That was my instructions to her, because I was like, I don't even want to get into the whole house situation. So other than that, uneventful. Now, once my mom left, this is still in April, everything was fine with him at the condiment company, as far as I knew. Everything was fine. What ended up happening is he randomly came home one day and starts complaining about changes that are going on at the company.
Yeah, sure.
When he started complaining about those changes, it was things like, keep in mind, he is not VP of the company. He was VP of, I keep getting it wrong, but I think it was VP of production is what the memo says.
I thought it was of the company.
So he was not the second in command for the company.
He was
upset that he was being blamed for production stats, that the production was down. He was upset that his plant manager apparently had resigned. He was upset that some of the policy changes that were coming into play that would affect his plant. These are the things that he was coming home and complaining about. Literally, he would complain. He started complaining Monday. By Friday, he said, you know what, if they continue doing this, then I just need to find another job. He was like,
from being VP, that's
homeboy
crazy.
That I work with at Apple, and I'm gonna see, what they have available. Yes, there were red flags going up. Of course there were. At this point, we're not even dealing with United Nations of red flags. We are dealing with the Olympics. We are dealing with the parade of all nations. Everybody got a red flag. So when he said that, I was kind of like, okay, because I had become numb to all the antics that he did. Yep. I was numb to it. So he literally said, I think I'm gonna call my homeboy and I'm gonna see what's at Apple.
Like, all right,
my response to him was, well, what about your salary?
Right? Like,
would you take a pay cut? And he was like, no, I'm not gonna take a pay cut. Like, I wouldn't leave unless it's gonna be the same amount or more money.
Sure.
Y'all, the next week, last week of April, I'm at work, minding my own business. He calls me and tells me, I've decided to resign. You what? I've decided to resign. Don't worry. Don't get all crazy. I had talked to my homeboy. There is a position at Apple, and I'm on my way there now to go and meet him so that I can get some information on the position. We're married, y'all. We're married. So what I said to him was, well, will you get all this in writing?
Right.
His words to me were, of course I'm going to get it in writing. I'm not stupid.
Yes, you are.
You know what? I don't even want to talk to you no more. Click. That's the end of April. So that is how I was introduced to this Apple job. Again, if you stick with this series, you will find out exactly what happened. But that's how I was in. Part 39, who the fuck did I marry? Everything you're going to hear, probably in this part and the next part, all of this happens in the month of July 2021. Divorce has been filed. It was filed the end of June. I got his signature on the divorce settlement agreement. I thought that I had to wait 30 days before I could actually file that with the court. Hopefully. And so this is kind of in the limbo period because I'm still within those 30 days. So he left a book bag at the house. Book bag that had all kind of paperwork in there. Inside the book bag, this is the paperwork that I found. Number one, I found a packet from the condiment company where it showed his 401k contributions. It also stated in there that he had been terminated. So he was terminated from the condiment company, according to the paperwork in the packet that I saw in the book bag that he left at my house. Also in the book bag were paycheck stubs from a previous job where he worked at a cemetery. The same cemetery that he took me to show me where his grandmother and grandfather were buried. So let's go ahead. I'll do this video and say this is what he told me. This is what I confirmed. He told me his grandmother and grandfather were buried there. He showed me a headstone with a family name on it. If you go back in previous parts, I talk about it. The truth is, they are not buried there. He is of no relation to the people who are buried at that particular gravesite. Only reason why he knew about it is because he had worked there. Also in the book bag, it was a copy of a driver's license that he had. The address on the driver's license, now this I still don't have an answer to, but the address on the driver's license was the same address as the cemetery. Because I looked it up on Google.
Wait, Weekender Joe. Did I miss this? Which I swear she hasn't said it. Where Kenny Crutcher was a fucking forklift. So the forklift was a 90K company car. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I think a forklift's out of expensive, so that would make sense. But like, we don't gotta lie that it's a BMW. Does BMW make the forklifts? Maybe they do, because Mercedes makes vans and stuff like that. Like, Mercedes makes different kinds of cars, so maybe BMW makes forklifts. We're about to find out. I'm gonna look it up. Don't worry about it.
Also in the book bag was paperwork from another construction company job, meaning it was paycheck stubs from another construction company here in Atlanta that he had worked for. It did not have dates on it, so I don't know when he worked for the construction company. Also in the book bag paperwork was unemployment paperwork. So it looked like he had been receiving unemployment just before I met him.
They might sell forklifts. Hold on.
It looked like he had been receiving unemployment January and February. So once again, let's confirm. He did not work for the condiment company for 6 to 7 years. Also in there were scraps of paper from a temp agency where it was information on the job that he had been placed at. Where was that job? The condiment company.
I thought they had a forklift. I was like, wait a minute.
He would be a forklift / loader is what it said.
Never mind.
So I interpret that to mean he can drive a forklift, but he would have been loading up the 18-wheelers for them to go out to their deliveries.
Mm-hmm. He could have said that. My uncle, something, can't think of how to say it. Padrino, I think is in Spanish. Anyway, he drives a forklift. Nothing wrong with that. What's the problem? I mean, you gotta be pretty smart, because I would just crash one of those. I don't even know how to drive one of those. Looks hard to me. So, why can he say that? He could have just said that. Why did he have to, like, make up a whole reality about, like, being a VP and all that? Like, no one's sure. It's okay, bud. You could have worked at Wendy's. It would have been okay. And if she doesn't like where you work, or she doesn't like you, period, then she don't like you. She's not the one for you, bud. You don't have to embezzle your story. It's good. It's all good. If somebody doesn't like your truth, then they're not for you. But, like, there's people that are cuckoo out here, so there's one thing of being delulu and one thing of being cuckoo. And if you're insane, that's different. Like, I don't think this man has ever told a truth in his life. So I don't know what I'm hoping about, but I'm just hoping people don't lie this much. I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm just worried.
Also in this book bag was paperwork from Clayton County courts, I believe, for a weekend. What is it called? A weekender jail. It was like a weekender jail receipt.
What that means?
So I had to do some research. So apparently, what that means is that there is an option where if you have a job, let's say you were sentenced to 6.
This man was serving a prison sentence? And we didn't even notice? So when he said he was going to work in the weekends, he was in jail? Wait a goddamn minute. Let me just have her say it. Someone's about to look it up, but she's about to tell us.
60 days in jail. But you have a full-time job. Apparently, the court can say, okay, you'll go to jail on the weekends. So in other words, you have to report to the jail on Friday at 5 o'clock, and you'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You will get out Sunday at 6 o'clock. Apparently, that's actually a real thing. So what was in the book bag?
I've never heard of that before.
Multiple yellow receipts for different weekends that he had to report and get out of jail. Last but not least, there were some additional pictures, and then there were some, and when I say pictures, I'm talking about family photos.
Lying this bad and leaving the evidence laying around is crazy. Also, like that.
And then there was another additional copy of his driver's license with the Douglasville address. I looked up that address. The name associated with that address was the same name as the ex-girlfriend that he had in between the ex-wife and me. If you go back to the video where I talk about the conversation I had with the ex-wife,
she's probably been telling the motherfucker to get her goddamn motherfucking address out of that bitch. She's probably been like, get my goddamn motherfucking address out of your goddamn fucking license. Because ain't no way she's putting up with all these lies. Unless she's even more blind than these two poor girls. 3 maybe, because apparently there's a third one in his mom's or grandma's obituary. Someone's obituary. So
she tells me that the address was going to come back to the ex-girlfriend. I'm simply saying that is correct.
It's so confirmed now.
Me is
true. Someone's telling the truth out here.
So, because of everything that I found, I decided to go down a new rabbit hole. Again, just recapping what I said in previous videos.
Mind you, also I'm nosy, but not that nosy. After we got the divorce was over, and I saw how disheveled he was, and I knew the truth. She knew the truth. When you see a man living in the streets that had an offshore account, and you know that ain't real, I would have stopped looking. Like, alright, you've already lied to me enough. I'm gonna go ahead and keep living in bliss for the rest of this. Like, I think it's done. Like, after I talked to the cousin, talked to ex-wife, saw him living in his car the way he was, and in my mind I'm like, oh, there was no offshore account or the other bank account, and I know he lied about absolutely every single second of his life, and he's insane enough to talk to himself on the phone multiple times a day for multiple hours a day. I don't need to know anything else about you. I know you're insane, you've lost your mind, you need to be medicated, and you need to be sent to a facility. That's all I know. I know you need to do time again. Like, this whole weekend thing you're doing, it obviously didn't teach you anything. Hi! We're listening to, Fofoca, chisme, whatever. I'm just saying that, men be lying out here, and that her even wanting to know more information is crazy. That's what I was saying. Let's go. You missed part 37 and 38, but we're from 39 to 52. So, I don't know if I'm going to do all 52, because honestly, I'm still on my way home. Oh, God. From school? Oh, God. What time is it there? 5:37? I mean, it's not too late. There's probably traffic for work, though, right? There's probably work traffic. Yeah. Anyway, did you get your mom already, or is she still got to pick her up at this point? No, you said she gets out at 2. Maybe she got out later, so it is like 5:30 right now. Anyway, now you can hear me jap while you drive home. But I mean, I'm not gonna jap that much because we're watching Drama Monday, Messy Monday. That's how I called it, Messy Monday.
Ex-husband was always a stickler about law.
She got out late.
His
I thought so, because it's kind of late right now. I'm like, wait a minute, it's kind of late. Hopefully she had a good day at work and you had a good day at school. Hopefully you didn't hit the car again. That's why I didn't park backwards. I'm gonna be honest. I never parked backwards because I knew one of those days I was gonna hit my car. I tried it one time. I tried parking backwards once, and I did it with no trouble. But I was like, I felt like I was gonna hit the car next to me, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing. Man, listen. I didn't hit the car. Listen, perfect. I'm telling you why I did it. I never did it. And everybody on the grandma used to park backwards in the garage, and I was like, not me though. Not me though. I'm not doing that. And then I realized that, like, although people that weren't parking the car backwards were also girls. So be a girl's girl and stop parking your car backwards. Just be a girl's girl and stop doing that. Like, that, it was too much effort for me. And, like, also, like, I had morning classes sometimes. Like, who in the world? I just peeled myself off out of the bed. And you think I'm gonna come and, like, girl, just put that car in there and let's go. Ain't no way. Plus I'm wearing my PJs today. I think I told you that on my... Girl, yes you can't. What, are they gonna charge you or something? Ain't no way they're gonna charge you. Is that a rule? Is it like a random rule? Did you sign something saying you're gonna park your car backwards? Did you sign something saying that? Because if you didn't sign something saying that, then it's fine. Because for me, it wasn't obligatory. You can park however you want. And I was like, I'm not doing the backwards shit. So, anyway, girl, I just hope you didn't sign anything, bitch. Why the fuck would you sign something like that? Sign some dumb shit. Oh, exactly. If you didn't sign something saying that, don't. Exactly, you didn't. What obligatory? Who said that? Try it. Tomorrow, or whenever you go back to school, park normally. Just park normally and see what happens. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. No one's gonna say anything. No one cares. No one cares. Just put your car. Everybody else is an idiot. Just park your car normally. Just park your car normally. Exactly. You didn't sign anything. Everybody else is just doing it, so that everybody else just keeps doing it. Just park normally. Just literally do what I did. There was like 20 cars parked like idiots, and I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. And with Little Lady, it was way more easy. Little Lady was my sedan. It was way easier, and I was not doing that. And she's a little car. Sometimes se me parqueaban 2 4x4 al lado cada uno de mí. I couldn't even see the Little Lady. I would walk up, and I'm like, I think Little Lady's right in the middle of those 2 big-ass cars. Poor Little Lady just in the middle there. Can't even see her. Can't even see my car. So yeah, just park normally tomorrow, and I promise you nothing's gonna happen. Just park normally. Nothing's gonna happen. It'll be alright. I promise you. And then you won't even have to be worried. It'll be parked perfectly straight, and nothing's gonna be wrong. I promise you. You don't need to be parking backwards. It's not your driving test. You got it. Congratulations. It's fine. Don't park backwards for the rest of your life.
Dad was a
Are you back?
Retired police officer. I'm just telling y'all the story. His dad was a retired police officer. Mom was a retired teacher. After his dad retired, they moved to Augusta, started a church. He took me to that church in Augusta. The same day that he took me to meet his aunt who lived in Augusta. So these are now things that he actually took me to, just like he took me to the cemetery.
I got for a man
that's what I
dies
found
that much
in
is
the book
crazy.
bag. The Weekender jail receipts. I went ahead and went online to find out exactly why did he have to go to jail for
I want to know too. I'm too nosy for this.
And I'm going to end this part here.
I'm nosy.
The next part has to do with his criminal history.
Oh.
Part 40, who the fuck did I marry? So we are now at the point of July 2021. We're at the point where I've spoken to the female cousin, and she gave me the phone number for the older brother. For the purposes of this video, we're going to call him Chris. Chris was very nice. I called him. He was gracious. He was willing to answer whatever questions I had. And
As
what
he
he
should.
said to me was, he said, my brother has always been a liar. He's always been a liar. He said, but ask me what questions you have, and I'll confirm what's real and what's not. First question I had was, when was the last time you spoke to him? Without missing a beat, Chris says, 2015, just after our mother's funeral.
15,
I
16, 17,
explained to
18,
him
19, 20. 5
about
years.
the phone calls. The fact that Legion would be on the phone for 30, 35 minutes, laughing.
So he's playing like he's his brother. That was going on.
Talking to Chris.
Legion's brain must be studied. Huh. You didn't say so.
Relaying messages from Chris to me and relaying messages from me to Chris. Without missing a beat, Chris says he was never talking to me.
That's crazy, bro.
And he said,
we're cleaning our angel.
I'll say this. Maybe he was on the phone, but he was not on the phone with me. He said because he knows
Not to
that
comment.
if I ever see him, I'm going to whoop his ass.
Oh.
And I'm laughing because obviously Legion loves to say I'm going to whoop somebody's ass. So for the people who are confused, like, wait, what does this mean about the phone calls? What this means is every single time
He was talking to
my
maybe
ex-husband was on the phone, holding his phone like this, talking, laughing,
Oh,
cracking
bro,
jokes.
that's crazy.
My
Cracking
wife
jokes.
said that, we could go
Cracking jokes is crazy.
later on this evening and all this other stuff. Every time they were doing things like that, every time he was having a phone call or conversation that he claims to be with Chris, no one is on the phone.
Honestly,
no one's on the phone.
He needs to be tested. For what? Everything.
That is what that means. So, I'm on the phone with Chris. My mind is spinning. It is blowing up like a volcano. I mean, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Because what this means is that for the past 4 or 5 months, every morning that he is having a phone call with his brother
He's
Chris,
talking to himself.
I am now understanding in real time that phone call was completely fake. So Chris
Which is
tells
crazy,
me maybe he
bro.
was talking to somebody else, but it wasn't me. He said the only family member that Legion actually talks to is the twin.
Oh.
And that's only because, for some reason, I guess it's their twins, he helps him out when he needs it.
He probably feels
Legion
bad.
only calls the twin when he needs money. And the twin,
He still answers.
according to Chris,
He's crazy.
Now this is the part that might blow some minds. The twin brother, the one that is older by 20 minutes, is VP of his company, is married, drives a luxury car, and lives in like a 4 or 5 bedroom house.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
In Nashville.
Shut the front door. Just shut the front door. Just shut it. Just shut the front door,
So
bro.
Chris is saying to me, he was like, it sounds like he took the identity
Yep.
of the twin
Just
and
fully.
was trying to act like that's his life.
Just fully took it to
And it's not. He was like, that nigga ain't never had no money, ain't never kept a job a long period of time. And he was like, and you're telling me that he claims he was VP of a company? And so he was like, did you ever see anything? Did you ever meet people like Chris? I respect the fact that he was asking me the same questions y'all are asking me.
Yep.
Did you ever meet
Right?
any family members? And I told him.
Girl, I'm too nosy. The second he was like, babe, I got BP, I would have been like, oh, let's go see your office. Immediately, let's go see your office. Immediately, let's go see the office. Immediately, let me see the picture on your badge. Immediately, listen, I love to share with people I love. So, like, for me, I would have been like, let's go see the office. Like, I got a new office, let's go see it. Got a new car, let's go see it. Got a new whatever, let's go see it. Like, I would have been like, let's go see it. Like, what? Immediately, like, who is this let me meet your David guy. Let me meet him. Like, I mean, he's gonna be basically part of the family since, he's your personal assistant. Like, let's meet him. No, like, and it could be excused because of COVID. So that's another thing too. Like, I'm not judging her because a lot of these things could be excused because of COVID. So, but like immediately I would have been like, let's meet him. Let's go. What's going on? Let's see this. Let's see this office. Let's see this car. Let's see all of this. Like, let's meet whatever the other person he mentioned. I can't remember their name, but I'm too nosy. I would have been like, let me take a gander. Let's see.
I said, I met your aunt. Well, what aunt is that? I told him her name. He said, that ain't our damn aunt. I don't know if y'all have ever dealt with people from Philly. So he was just loud.
Oh,
he was
God.
like, that ain't our aunt. He said, that is our mother's best friend. And I don't trust that hoe.
I don't trust that hoe. It's
I'm
crazy.
Sorry, it's the way he said it that it makes me laugh. Anyway, he's like, I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. She is not our aunt.
Ooh.
She was our mother's best friend when our mother was living in Augusta. She's not
crazy.
our aunt. So then I explained to him about the other brothers.
He's like, who?
The brothers, remember, there were 2 half brothers from his dad. One lived in Baltimore, one lived in Augusta. Chris is on the phone saying, I don't know who them niggas are. They ain't related to us. He said, our dad never had other kids.
Oh.
He was like, so you mean to tell me
He lying on
this
his
nigga
dad?
going around telling people that our dad had kids on our mom? And I said to him, well, the way he actually put it is that the 2 brothers came before y'all. He was like, hell no. No.
That's crazy, y'all. That's
then I
crazy,
explained
y'all.
to him about the sisters. He was like,
Sisters?
who the hell is Shantae? And I was like, Shantae, again, I'm just telling you what I was told. Shantae is a sister that lives in Douglasville, married with 2 kids. He was like, no, we don't have a sister. Told him about Kim. He was like, Kim's not our sister, she's a cousin. And he said to me, and I know she ain't talked to him in forever in 2 days.
Oh.
He said, so everyone, the only people who are his family members is Chris and the twin.
Let me clean my
He's
table
like,
too
we got
as we're
some
here.
cousins up here. I told him about Junebug. I told him about the uncle. I told him about the grandmother.
Junebug
And
dead?
he's
That's
just
crazy,
sitting back
bro.
like, oh my God. He said, he was like, I realize that every relationship my brother gets in, he gets worse. And it sounds like he is actually worse than what he was in the last relationship.
Sad.
And
This
I
is so
thought
sad,
he
bro.
was talking about the ex-wife that I
Oh,
had
wait.
spoken
That's
to.
what I thought he was like.
No, he had no idea there was another wife. Because again, he hasn't spoken to him since 2015.
Oh
So he
my
was
God,
like,
bro.
the best thing I can say to you is
Get away from him immediately.
He said, thank God you ain't have kids with him.
God. Oh,
He said,
my bad.
get your divorce
Yep.
and forget you ever met this man.
Yep.
And he was like, and I know how that sounds because he's my brother.
Yep.
He said, but if I didn't have to claim him, I wouldn't.
Ooh.
And I said to him something that I
Cleaning stream.
should have probably said in this whole TikTok series. This is not someone that you forget. This is
It doesn't
not
sound
a
like it.
situation
I'm gonna
that-
think of Legion.
No, man.
I'm gonna think of Legion for the rest of my life, bro. I'm gonna think of Legion of Lies for the rest of my life, bro. Sadly.
I don't even remember him. No. What I don't remember is the version of myself before I met him. Because nothing so far has turned out to be true.
Nothing.
The only thing that Chris was able to tell me is true is that, number one, yes, there is a brother in Philly. Him.
That's about it.
Yes, there is a brother in Nashville. The twin.
That's it.
Yes, both parents
Two
are
truths.
deceased.
Two truths.
That is what I was told from the beginning. Those pieces of
Clean.
information are true. The grandmother did die.
I
in
won't wipe this. I
2008.
don't want to mess it
He
up.
was like, no, she didn't. She definitely didn't die in 2020. I told him how I found the obituary. And so he was like, and the uncle, he said, which uncle is he talking about? Because if you guys remember, back
There was an
in one of
uncle,
the
yeah.
parts, I talk about where he said his uncle was giving him advice on why he should not open up his savings account to let me see it. He would not let me see it. And so I'm telling Chris about the uncle, and he was like, that uncle been dead for years.
Shut the
I told
fuck.
him about
He needs to stop
Junebug.
lying
He
on
said,
dead people.
Junebug been dead for years. And I said, Chris, he was having conversations with Junebug on the phone in front of me. He was like, it wasn't Junebug. He said, it sounds like my brother was making up the conversations.
Yep. For sure. 100%.
He said he definitely was making up the conversation with me. He said, hell no, I ain't gonna be on the phone at no 6 o'clock in the morning. So the conversation with Chris solidified that this is the actual family tree.
I can't believe
And no,
this.
there were never any conversations with his brother
He's
every
over here
morning,
seeing dead people and shit.
when I was getting ready to go to work.
Crazy, y'all.
They had never talked. On to the next part.
Y'all.
Part 41, who the fuck did I marry? So this is the
We
continuation
driving
of
again,
my
y'all.
conversation
We driving
with
again.
Chris, which will then lead into some other stuff. So,
I'm an
Chris
idiot.
has
I just wiped
confirmed that
this
he
thing
has
with
not
my
spoken to
pants
Legion,
just to dry it, but
since 2015.
obviously
So now
that's
we know that
not
the
smart.
phone calls that Legion was having every morning.
I might
on the
wipe
phone
this
with
one
Chris
though, because that's a
when
little,
we were,
that's a little
you know, getting ready to go to
pen
work.
mark. My hands does too. I
phone
don't know what I was
calls
doing
were
with the
fake.
pens yesterday, but
I demonstrated in the last video how I think he, how he was doing those phone calls.
let's not do that. Let's make it worse. Never mind.
Because he would relay
Fine.
messages from me to whoever was on the phone.
Okay.
So Chris and I also
I'm
then
wiping
talked
keyboard.
about their parents. So
Not,
if you
like,
remember
under
at
it.
the beginning, I told you from the get-go, this man was, you know, very respectful of law enforcement because his dad was a retired Philadelphia
Hopefully
police
that's
officer.
true.
The mom was a retired teacher. And so he had the utmost respect for law enforcement. That's
Sure
what
he did.
used to
And then
always say.
he wanted to get somebody
Because,
fired. A fake person.
Again, there's a lot that he lied about, so I'm trying to only highlight the big things because truthfully, it got to a point where when he would say that as a VP in his company, he had a meeting with the local sheriff. Child, we know that's a lie, so I don't
Yep.
even need to go into detail about that because, again, why? So I told Chris what Legion said about their dad being a retired police officer.
Oh, it's a lie. I'm ready.
And I was explaining how he said the mom was a retired teacher. So Chris listened. Again, very gracious, very nice guy. He listened, and he was like, so are you ready for me to tell you what's true and what's not?
I'm so ready, bro.
And at this point, I was already convinced I was going to be drinking heavily that night. After this phone call.
She was like, I'm ready. Go ahead.
All right, so here's what Legion said. Legion said, my dad was a retired police officer with Philadelphia PD.
He wasn't.
When he retired,
I'm ready.
He and my mom moved to Augusta. I was there for high school, and they started a church. He took me to that church in Augusta and showed me where the church that they started.
Wait 1 second. The reason I'm wiping all these things down is because I vacuumed and I have an allergy to dust, and the vacuum kicks up all the dust. So I just have to make sure I don't get allergic to my streaming setup. So that's why I'm wiping it. And we're watching a long story, so it just makes sense for me to do something else. Randomly, I had the kick to start doing this. I was like, wait, I should. Because I was going to wipe it after stream, and I was like, wait, I should just wipe everything down with close wipes now. Anyway, that's what it is. I have a severe allergy to dust. Like, my asthma starts acting up and everything. But anyway, let's go back.
The truth. Dad, according to Chris,
the battery's low,
dad
so I want to turn on.
nowhere near the church. That man ain't go to church on Easter. He ain't go to church on Christmas. He was like, my dad ain't go to...
I knew a God-fearing man wouldn't be this much of a liar.
That was the last time he went to church. He had nothing to do with church. He said that their father was the furthest thing from a pastor. He was like, God. I love my dad, but that man drank, smoked, and he was not a pastor. The mom was not a retired teacher.
What was she?
She did substitute teach at one
but she
point,
didn't
she was not a retired teacher. The dad was a truck driver.
Oh, that's still a good job. Pays good, I've heard.
Not only was the dad a truck driver, at one point, he was a correctional officer. And so...
maybe that's why he meant like police officer, I guess?
Chris, I was like, I said I had no idea, of course.
Of course.
I had no idea. So, now we know the truth. The dad was never in law enforcement.
No.
And I'm not knocking correction officers. I want to make very clear.
It's a different
I know
job,
that sometimes people that work in law enforcement feel like, look, when I'm out there patrolling, that is not the same as being a correction officer. And correction officers may feel the same. So I just want to give the distinction between
it's different jobs, yeah.
So the dad at one point was a correction officer.
At one point, yeah, of course.
However,
that wasn't like...
his primary career was
truck
a
driving.
truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And so the dad would do long hauls. So
which is a hard job,
Chris
to
is
be honest.
explaining, no. He was like, now that's funny. He said, if you knew our dad, you would understand how funny that is to even insinuate that he was a pastor. And so I told him about the church that we went to. He was like, oh, okay. So he took you to a church in Augusta and told you that was our parents' church. He was like, now, our mom used to go to church, every now and then.
I probably her church. She probably went there.
But he said, our dad ain't been to church since the day he married mom. So, the church that Legion took me to and said that his parents started that church, that was not true. So, he just took me on a field trip for nothing. Basically.
Right? Just for shits and gigs.
So, I told him about the weekend, because I did tell Chris where I worked. And that is when Chris said to me, because at the time I worked in a law enforcement agency. And he said to me, now how does that work? He said, because Legion, he done been in trouble a few times. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I had not yet gone online into the court system
to see what's going on, the weekend
what
or
type
trip
of trouble he's
thingy,
been in. And so he explained to me, he was like, just run his criminal history and you'll see it for yourself.
You should have just done that,
He
period.
said, because I don't know all the charges, but run his criminal history.
All the charges?
I said, okay. He gave me some homework. I'll run his criminal history. So, again, he cleared up a lot of stuff in regards to
family tree,
family dynamics.
And the tree and everything.
To me that, yes, he does have a daughter. He and his ex-wife are divorced.
Okay.
And I said, well, Legion would talk about the niece, meaning Chris's daughter, and would send her stuff.
He ain't never sent her nothing.
birthday.
I promise you that.
And he was like, he said, I'm almost positive my brother never sent anything for my daughter's birthday.
This
And I explained to him, I said, isn't your daughter's name Egypt?
He
said, no. Who the hell is Egypt?
Oh.
And I said, I was told that was.
So I know, because I'm nosy. Y'all wanna know what these are. So the one of the essential oils is Renew, pure essential oil blend, refreshing. This one is lavender for relaxing, eucalyptus for clearing, and then defend for purifying. And there you go. They smell amazing. All of them do.
Your daughter's name. That's the reason why I'm saying the name on here, because obviously we're about to confirm
that's a fake name.
Daughter.
Yeah.
So I said, I was told that's your daughter's name. I said, I went with him to Rack Room Shoes and bought shoes.
Whoever the world this girl was,
for
shoes.
What I was told was your daughter.
Who did this woman buy shoes for?
St. Louis with your ex-wife. He said no. He said, my daughter and my ex-wife do not live in St. Louis. He said, I don't know who Egypt is. He was like, are you sure it wasn't for a woman? And I said, well,
I
it
hope
was
not.
kids' shoes.
Oh, I wear kids' shoes.
And he was like, no.
I fit kids' shoes.
He said, and I told him, I said, I went to the UPS store, I mailed it, and it, you know, they printed the label with the girl's name on it, and I'm thinking this whole time it's
who the fuck is
niece.
Egypt? It's a daughter. It's probably his daughter or something.
I don't know who that is.
It's probably his
daughter.
That's
not even the name of one of our cousins.
It's probably his daughter.
So I have
probably
no idea, ladies and gentlemen, who my ex-husband was buying girl shoes for.
Probably his daughter
and
out
had
there.
me sending them, telling me
he has
it's
a daughter
for
out
his
there.
niece.
And her name is Egypt. He has a daughter out there,
no
y'all.
idea.
Ladies and gents, he has a daughter
Chris
out there.
is like, yeah.
He has a kid out there. We've got him, ladies and gents.
To me the same thing the ex-wife said, which is pretty much whatever he told you
was a lie.
Is a lie. And I'm being honest with you guys. It is very hard to comprehend that everything is a lie.
That came out of a man's mouth,
has to
like
be something that's true.
Like everything that came out of his
how
man's
was he
mouth.
If he wasn't working at the condiment company, or he got
the car, how was he
fired
paying
from the
half of the
condiment
car?
company,
He was paying half of the
how
car.
was he still paying the bills? Keep in mind, we
he was
never
paying all the bills.
joined
I
our
remembered.
accounts. He wanted to, but we never did, because he wouldn't show me the offshore, the savings account, which of course never existed. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, I know that I saw his checking account, I know that I saw his savings account, and he had money in there. Something had to be true. Something had to be true.
Something had to be true.
And Chris was like, no. He said, it sounds like everything my brother said
was a lie.
Everything that he told you was made up. He said those phone calls were definitely made up. He said, I don't know who Egypt is. That's not any family member of ours. I don't know who Shantae is. We don't have a sister. He said, we don't have half brothers.
Wait,
he was like,
who are the girls are his daughters too?
He said, I am so sorry that my brother
put you through this.
So now let's go into the next part. Part 42.
Oh, louder.
Who the fuck
Hold on.
did I marry? So I finished going through the book bag. Still July of 2021.
July was crazy, y'all.
There were some other folders with papers in there. He had left the work phone. What I actually found out was that it was not a work phone. It was simply a secondary personal phone. He told me it was a work phone.
Of course he did.
I thought that the company was paying for the work phone.
Absolutely not.
That's what I thought. No. Because I found receipts where basically, and I didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen, I had no idea, but I found receipts where it was a prepaid phone and he's paying to add minutes to it. So it's just receipts of, you added minutes to the phone on this date. You added minutes on that date. So
I see.
the work phone whole thing, that was a bold-faced lie. Obviously, it was a lie because, as we now know, he was a forklift loader. So the work phone that he's been walking around with was really just a secondary phone. He had left the phone. He took his personal phone, meaning the main phone, I should say.
Yeah.
But the work phone, he left. So I'm going through the work phone, just trying.
Okay, so I'm confused because it's the same size on each side, but these two fit in here, but then these two don't. And they were just in here before I cleaned them, so how in the world? Anyway, back to our stories.
Trying to find some sort of answer. Now what is really burning in my mind is how is it that he had all this money in the accounts, but again, the last time I saw him, he's living in his car. Like, the math is not mathing. I go into not just the photos of the work phone.
You know what?
I go into the deleted folder. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to go through somebody's phone, which I will never do again.
Absolutely not.
But if you're going to go through the phone, don't just go through the text messages and the pictures.
It gotta be the whole thing.
Go into the deleted folder.
Yep.
Sometimes
gotta be
you
everything.
find a gold mine. In this case, I went into the deleted folder of the pictures in the work phone. I keep saying work phones because, again,
because we know.
Yeah. It is deactivated. There's no minutes on it. So I go into the deleted pictures, and what I see is what looks like a screenshot of his checking account, the one that I saw with the available balance. Then there's another photo of the screenshot of.
So these two Hello Kitties came in a box. Sorry, it was like a mystery box, and they both came in the same. I thought they were different. Like, I felt them in the bag, and I was like, "Oh, these feel different." They weren't. Anyway, back
the savings that he showed me. Now, one of two things it could be: either one, it's not real, and it was pulled offline, or two, he took a screenshot of his own account and saved the photos. So. This is when I got introduced to reverse Google image search. I did a reverse Google image search.
Baby's first reverse search.
As you probably have figured out, some of you, because I read it in the comments, what he showed me when he turned his phone around, showing me his available checking account balance, was nothing more than a screenshot that he had found on Google.
Of course, I knew that.
When he showed me his savings,
Google
turned the phone
screenshot.
around, because remember, I demonstrated for y'all how he was, and then, showed it, turned it
Google
around and showed it to
screenshot.
me as if he was signing in. When he did that, he was simply showing me a
Google screenshot from Google.
that he had taken from Google Images. Because when I did a reverse Google image
came
search
up, yeah.
with those two photos, the
Immediately,
checking
yep.
and the savings, it came right up.
Leaving the evidence behind was crazy. Anyway.
It was nothing more than just Google Images. In my phone, I didn't even need this because, again, I already knew that he was not a VP regional manager.
Yeah,
but
no,
still, for shits and giggles, I did a reverse image search of the charcoal BMW.
It came up.
Remember I told y'all he had sent me pictures of the company car.
It came up.
Nothing more than a screenshot he had taken off of Google Images.
Yep.
The house that he showed me that he had in San Diego,
up there too.
Google Images. So, what we can now confirm is anything he showed me when he's turning his phone around
is a lie.
Is nothing more than an image from Google Images at this point. The checking account, the savings account, Google Images. The house, Google Images.
Yep.
The company car, that charcoal gray BMW 5 Series, Google Images.
Yep.
So at this point, I realized, okay, nothing.
It's true. Or real.
Nothing is real.
Nope.
And I wasn't so much in a rage. To be honest with you, I wasn't in a rage then and there. As much as it was, I really truly had a moment where I said to myself, oh my God, what the fuck have I let in my life?
Yep.
Like, this is not even human at this point. That's really how I felt. Like, again, as someone who, I studied psychology, but
this was something else.
I didn't graduate with a psychology degree. However, I have never dealt with a pathological liar. I have studied about them, but I have never come into contact with a pathological liar. Because to a compulsive liar, if you ask them, man, why did you lie to me? They probably are going to have a reason.
Yep.
Pathological liars.
No, just no reason.
Like,
just for fun,
there's no limit to the lie. So I have now confirmed that at least 70% of everything that I thought I knew is now absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. So in between all of this, I get a phone call from the aunt in Augusta. The aunt in Augusta, who Chris has confirmed is a friend.
Yeah.
She is not their
family at all,
sister or dad's sister. She's the best friend of the deceased.
No blood relationship.
She calls me, and this is the one I have met. This is the one that Chris was like, I don't trust that hoe. Anyway.
No.
So she called because
there's been on this
she wanted to know what happened. She wasn't trying to be nosy or messy.
No, I just wanted to,
She's just trying to find out what happened because apparently Legion is trying to come stay with her.
Oh, he's tired of being homeless. He's tired. He's tired.
She asked me, sweet lady, but she said, what happened with you guys? And I told her we're getting a divorce.
She probably is a sweet old lady. I'm gonna be honest.
Because he lied to me a lot. He lied to me a lot. And so what breaks my heart about the conversation with her is that she said...
Oops, sorry. Just cleaning mouse.
So, whatever happened to the baby? Mind you, we went to Augusta, told her I was pregnant.
My heart, bro.
I thought he told her...
Of course.
...that I had a miscarriage. He didn't.
Holy shit.
He never told this woman I had a miscarriage. So she informs me. This is what she tells me. So now we're confirming something else.
Yeah.
She tells me that on at least 5 times while I'm at work, Legion was driving to Augusta
to pick up the baby or some shit.
And telling her that he was going to visit the church of where the parents allegedly the church that the parents started. And I was like, what do you mean he went to Augusta? She said, I've seen him like 4 or 5 times. He's come down here. And each time I've asked him to bring the baby. And I said, what baby? And she said, the baby that y'all had. He told me that y'all had a baby boy. And I said, no, ma'am. Miscarriage in June of 2020. And she said, "Oh my God! Oh, she was doing
that." Of course.
She said this whole time
he's been at this poor lady, bro.
That y'all had a son in January, and I have been asking him for pictures. I have been asking him to bring both of you down here so I could meet him, and he always had an excuse as to why he wouldn't bring the baby. And the last time he was in Augusta, he said that he was leaving you and he was taking the baby with him.
What?
And that you were at work. I am not making this up. That is what that woman told me. And I just was like, no, ma'am. None of that is true.
What the
there is no baby. I said I had no idea he was going to Augusta. Next part. Part 43. Who the fuck did I marry? So after the conversation with the aunt, again, she's telling me that Legion has been keeping up this lie that we had a son. I let her know, no, ma'am, there was no baby. We did not have a baby. And I said, I thought that he told you. And she said, he's told a few people that you all had a baby. She said, because I know some people were trying to send a gift to celebrate the birth. I didn't know anything about that. Didn't know anything about that. So she said, he's trying to come stay with me. She said, but I don't think I want him to.
And she shouldn't.
She's an older lady. She's like, I don't think I want him to come here because I don't really want to get involved with his divorce again. And I said, what do you mean again?
So these coins, these random coins I have in here are not American. I have something for money, and I went to get the money into cash, and it gave all these back to me, so I just took them out. This one's from Canada. This one is Queen Elizabeth, so it's English. This one's Canada, Queen Elizabeth. So yeah, I just took them out. Then I'm just gonna keep them. Someday when I go to Canada and wherever else, I don't know if this is Canadian or these are all Canadian. Never mind. Queen Elizabeth is on them, but in the back says Canada. So no, these are all Canadian. So whenever I go to Canada, I now have your money. They're so new and pretty and like shiny. It's easy to mistake though. They look like quarters to me. So and 25 cents. Anyway, back to this.
Again, I said, are you talking about the previous?
That lady should not let him in, by the way.
Wife? And I said the previous.
She don't know about that.
Name.
She don't know
I
about
don't know
that.
who that is. I'm talking about Latanya.
Well, that's a wife then. There we go.
And I said, well, what happened? Do y'all remember? I said,
who the fuck is Latoya?
Yep. Video that I read their divorce records. He had filed for divorce, and they had a temporary protection order against each other.
You should get one too, babe.
I said that. So now the aunt is on the phone saying that she had to go to court and testify on Legion's behalf in regards to the temporary protective order. And I was like, well, what happened? She said they got into a fight with each other.
Oh.
And she slapped him, and I said, well, do you know why they got into a fight? And she said, yeah, apparently he had lied to the wife, and it was something major, and they got into a physical fight.
This man doesn't learn, bro.
Said that woman almost beat his behind, and so he asked the court for a temporary protective order. So now
his issue is he thinks women don't have hands. When a woman gets pissed, she got hands for everybody. Like, I'm scared of ever putting my hands on a man, but when I'm mad, these hands are rated E for everybody. So, like, if you get me that pissed, that clearly, like, she was, like, and all women are scared of men. I'll be honest, like, we know a man could just break our bones in a second. So, if she had the anger in her to put hands on him, almost put yeah. He needs to learn that when someone's pissed, not even just women, when someone's pissed, hands are E for everybody. Hands are E for everybody. So he needs to just learn that real quick.
Now I'm just getting the backstory on how that TPO was even came into play. So I told her, I said, Miss
whatever her name is, yeah,
we'll call her.
There we go.
I said, you don't have to worry about that. I said, we're not, he's already signed the paperwork.
Thank God.
We're not fighting. I don't have it in me. I don't. So I said, I'm not going to tell you not to have certain
but you shouldn't.
in your home, but I am going to tell you that I'm just barely kind of discovering exactly what the lies are in regards to Legion. So if you feel comfortable having him in your home,
let him in, but
then do it. I said, but I am going forward with this divorce, and once the divorce is final, I will have nothing to do with him. And I said, and I'm so sorry, that he lied to you
too,
and kind of pulled at your heartstrings in regards to a baby,
which isn't.
I said, there is no baby. So she said, so y'all are really getting a divorce?
Girl,
and
of course.
To the older ladies, but I said, yes, ma'am, we are.
What do you mean? Are you getting up?
And so we get off the phone. Also during this time, Legion would call me every now and then. Legion had no idea.
She knew all this, yeah.
I've spoken to his brother. I've spoken to his female cousin. He had no idea. I have now.
He didn't know, that the house of cards already fallen down. He was over here like in La La Land. He was over here thinking Cinderella is gonna come and pick him up. Like, sir, everything's done. Ain't no way.
We want to go through real quick and talk about what we can confirm. We can confirm that there is no sister. We already knew there was no baby.
Yep.
There was no VP job.
Absolutely
Again,
not.
he was a 10.
Making that up.
And apparently he was making decent money. So what I believe, and this is just what I think off of putting pieces together. I think that he made enough money to pay the household bills.
He did in
because
the beginning.
It wasn't as if the household bills were so expensive. He made enough money to
pay
live
those
on
off.
his own.
Yeah.
But instead of him living on his own,
he lived with you.
With me.
Yeah, of course.
So we can also confirm that when he told me that he was paying his car off and he called the dealership and paid his car off.
He wasn't.
We can confirm that that's a lie. That story will come up later on. So pretty much at this point, the only thing I know to be true, his name, his date of birth, the secondary social security number that was on my background check, and that he has 2 brothers and the parents are deceased. At this point in time of July 2021, that's all we know. That's all that I was able to confirm that to be true. So later on, Legion calls me. He calls me because he wants some money. He just needs a little bit of money to hold him over till payday. And so we're on the phone. The call, again, I was recording all my calls at the time. We're on the phone, and I finally kind of confronted him. Number one, about
we're clearing the microphone now, so
that's when he tells me, I don't know why I lied, but I don't really talk about him. Number two, I asked him why did he get fired from the concrete company?
Why?
His story is that he got fired because he had helped a truck driver and he was not supposed to. I know it's a lie. Y'all don't even have to tell me. I know it's a lie. Number three, I asked him, why did you tell your aunt that we had a baby? He claims he never told her that, and that she's old and she didn't know what she was talking about.
Okay, sure.
So then I asked him if he was ever in trouble.
Please go on the microphone.
And he said, yeah, I've been arrested as a juvenile, but my father had my record expunged.
Boy, we already know.
Was you ever arrested as an adult? He said, nah, I ain't never been arrested as an adult. I said, so you never went to weekend jail? He said, no, I don't even know what that is.
That was Cinderella.
So he doesn't know what weekend jail is.
Sure.
That's his story.
Sure, and I was born last night.
And so he was still standing by the
line. This goes on the mic.
So finally I just asked him, and this is where let me just say it. I asked,
that necklace keeps getting tangled. It's a really pretty necklace. I love it. It looks really cute on, but it keeps getting tangled, so I'm gonna just leave it there. It literally, every single time I'll tangle it and I put it away where it goes, it just keeps getting tangled. So it's now Mike's jewelry. It's not the Mike's jewelry, because I'm not gonna keep on taking that away. I'm not gonna keep doing that. I'm not. I literally, it was so tangled this time around. I had to break the necklace that was tangled to it to get it out. But I didn't mean to break. I just kind of like went like this, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what broke? I didn't know which one broke, and then anyway, yeah, it's the Mike's jewelry now, because I'm not doing this. I think I have another one that was here, and I put it in my room, put it back. But if there's like third layered, really pretty, tangle a lot, by the way. Anyway, back.
Sim, why the hell did you even marry me?
Right?
Like, why? Why did you even marry me? Because you easily could have just stayed dating or been a boyfriend,
and is less likely to get caught on all these lies if you're just a boyfriend. I'll be honest. If you're just a boyfriend, just dating, single, you want to sling dick? Stay single. Listen, when you're single, you can sling all the dick. You can be community dick all you want. No one judges community dick when it's single. No one judges it. I'm gonna be honest. I've never questioned when a man's community dick when they're single. I've never questioned that shit in my life. But once you're married, you can't be community dick. And if you're committed too, you can't be community dick. But just stay single, sir. You keep marrying these women for no reason. I know you need a house and a home, but you can't. You can't have everything. You can't have it all. Either you're a community dick, or you're not comedic. Like, you can't just be both. So
just moved on with your life. Like, you
Yep.
didn't have to marry me.
Nope.
You didn't have to pull me into a marriage and
He
make
didn't.
me think that this is what you wanted. This is what he said to me on that phone call. He said, I had to marry you.
Because she was pregnant.
And I
Watch.
was like, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. He said, I knew full well from day one that there was no way you were going to stay my girlfriend for longer than a year. He said, I knew it. He said, I knew in order to keep you, I was going to have to marry you.
Bro, you don't gotta keep her. You don't gotta keep her. You obviously don't wanna. Because you're not gonna stop lying. So you obviously knew you weren't gonna keep her because you're a liar. So just let her go. Wasting people's time is so annoying, bro. I'm just trying not to stay mad because I hate when people waste other people's times.
Y'all, my jaw hit the ground. I could
And my head hit the wall. Pop.
not believe he said that. And he said it so matter of fact. And I was like, that is the most fucked up thing you've ever
Right?
said.
Like,
Part 44. Who the fuck did I marry? The videos that you saw earlier were filmed earlier today.
ooh, we were on the street. Yep.
Yes, I'm aware. It was brought to my attention. I had to make a decision whether or not to finish.
Oh, yeah, he came forward. He came forward. I think he came forward or something. Or either the ex-wife came forward or he came forward. But I knew she wasn't at 50 yet. I remember when he came forward, I was just listening like to the grapevine, and I was gonna put these hanging down here. I might still do it when I take off the welcome back sign and take off the hearts. So that's why it's still on the table, because I'm still thinking of, because I thought it was like this, but it's not. I wasn't paying close enough attention. These are just confetti. I should have known, but I thought it was like it had like a string like that, but it doesn't. Anyway, back to this.
Or stop.
But it's cute. They're cute.
Disappear. I mean, disappear. Okay. Let's finish.
Let's finish.
So, first of all, let me say this.
You're
It
back.
is-
Hey, sorry, it's been
This
a while.
story.
I'm cleaning,
It's entertaining. I know it's gone viral.
but it's the truth. Sadly,
But it is not easy telling this story.
of course it's not.
I made a decision to tell this story. I made a decision to share my story.
Yeah.
What I went through in hopes.
It's
that it
pen cleaning
helps
time.
Just one.
But I'll be right
person.
back for a second.
But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you all. It is not easy telling the story, to relive it, to face certain things out loud that I had to face internally. Just want to say that. So I will push forward to finish, but today got to me. The toll of this got to me today. So I know that you all are like, we're waiting on the next part. We're waiting on the next part. I appreciate that and I get it. Because if I was in those shoes, I would be waiting too and be like, where is it? So I understand that. But the toll was real today. All right. So with that being said, we are still in July of 2021. I talked to the brother.
We're
Chris.
back.
I talked to the aunt. I talked to all these people. And now was the time where I had saw the receipts for the weekend jail type thing.
And he said, you know what anything about that.
So I went ahead and did a search for his criminal history.
Of course.
His criminal history, I did that on my own at home with my money. So this was not...
With the work.
I think someone had asked if I did anything with my job.
No. Of course, you're not going to put your job in the line.
So I ran a criminal history, or I paid.
That's like being a nurse and looking like somebody else, but you can't do that. So, like, she's not going to put her job in the line to look up Legion of Lies.
For a criminal background report.
I know he's
For him to
reckless,
say
but everybody
that
can't
he
be reckless.
appreciates law enforcement so much.
Right,
it
like-
was obviously a lie. because the criminal history
I'm
showed
nervous.
that he had been arrested for criminal trespassing. He had been arrested for like suspended license, suspended registration, but the big thing was impersonating an officer. If you don't know anything about impersonating an officer, it is a felony.
Of course it is. I know it is.
Period. Point
Holy,
blank.
you can't do that.
Street runs from Bankhead to Buckhead. It is a felony.
Yep.
So, seeing what court it was in, I did another open records request for the incident report. I wanted to know
What was he doing?
exactly what
Yeah,
the
what
circumstances
was
were,
going on?
especially given the fact that I worked in law enforcement at the time. What were the circumstances as to how he was arrested for impersonating an officer?
Also, just looking up Legion's every single lie is a full-time job. Like, I'm sad she did all this for free. I'm glad she got the BMW. She needed something. Like, this took a long time. And I know, like, it's, like, only, like, a month or two, like, in her timeline, but this is taking a toll on her. Like, finding all this out is taking a toll on her. And she's doing all this by herself. She has to figure out how to look all this information up by herself. So
I did an open records request. I got the incident report. And
being a felon is crazy. Without her knowing?
Saying my jaw hit the floor. But on this one, my jaw hit the fucking floor. I respect law.
Her jaw didn't hit the floor. Her jaw wasn't held at this point. Because her jaw has been hitting the floor a few times. So the jaw is in hell. Her jaw is in hell. It's gone. Also, I know I'm saying hell weird. I don't know what it came out like that. Anyway, back to this.
Law enforcement, again, I was working in an agency with a lot of great men and women. Basically, what the incident report, and I'm paraphrasing it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're not going to, yeah.
Basically, what the incident report shows is that he pretended to be an officer using a badge. I later found out it was the badge that his dad had.
I was nervous.
As a former
I thought it was her badge or something.
Correction officer. Same last name.
Of course.
So he was pretending to be a police officer at an apartment complex on the south side of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And proceeded to tell people that he was an investigator and he was looking for drugs. He also proceeded to try to pat down someone, and then also proceeded to try to go into a woman's apartment and do a search.
What?
This is in the incident report.
That poor lady.
So
that sounds so scary.
The woman who he was trying to get into her apartment to do a search happened to either work with or worked at
law enforcement,
local police department. So she just simply called her coworkers.
Of course, she was like somebody.
And so he was subsequently arrested, and subsequently was charged and found guilty. That is what I found in his criminal record report.
That poor lady.
It is fair
Holy
to note,
shit.
had I known that he had a criminal history,
never would have married him.
We never
or looked
would have even
into
finished date number one. Some things I'm just not going to get involved with.
Oh, same. I don't.
If I know from the rip.
Same. That's why he didn't tell her, by the way.
What does this mean? Again, we've been going over what's the lie.
There's a lot of
what
things.
Can you confirm? I can confirm that there was no way that this man ever had a passport to take me to London.
Absolutely not. A felon?
When he claimed that he was voting in the election,
can't vote for a felon.
That he did, because he tried to tell me that he was still a registered voter in California. And
you can't vote if you're a felon. You can't vote if you're a felon.
I knew it was a lie, but again, at this point in July,
it's confirmed.
I'm able to confirm that you never had a passport. You never voted.
Sir, you weren't even going on the street.
The small things that mean something to me, he never did it. He wasn't eligible to. So now I know that not only have you, yes, been arrested. Now, what happened as a juvenile, I don't care. But you have been arrested.
As an adult.
You have done some sort of time. And now it explains why you knew your way around the county so well. If you go back to the previous videos, I had mentioned that I was wondering, how do you know your way around here? And the story was his sister used to live in this county.
Yep.
And he would come visit when he would fly into California.
These
when
nuts.
he would go see his parents in Augusta. That was the story.
LOL doll,
So that's
Disney,
kind of going on.
and Elsa.
And I'm also going to take you guys back and remind you when I had to go in for my polygraph and how the polygrapher had asked me,
Christmas.
do you know anyone that is a convicted felon that you have relationships with, blah, blah, blah. And remember, I said to him,
No.
my husband and I are estranged.
Yep.
I honestly don't know. Fast forward to July, where I find out that yes, in fact,
Oh, we have one more. I didn't remember.
Everything. I was married to a convicted felon. Had no idea. No idea whatsoever. And it's nothing but the grace of God that I was able...
Can't see the stamp anymore.
That I was honest with the polygrapher and telling him, look, I don't know what's in this man's background. To say that I have no idea who I married is an understatement.
Oh.
It is a complete understatement.
It ain't even her fault.
It's fair to say, well, you only knew him for like 2.5 weeks before you quarantined with him. That's fair.
That's
and
fair.
I can understand
that's
that,
fair.
and I take responsibility for that. But in the big scheme of things, I had no idea the creature that I was sleeping next to every night.
The devil himself.
Idea. All right, part 45, who the fuck did I marry? So we are now end of July, August time frame. During this time, Legion basically disappeared. Remember, I'm still waiting on the final divorce decree to come up. I'm actually waiting for the 30 days to be up so I can file the divorce settlement form. So I'm waiting on those 30 days to be up. I'm playing nice with him. I'm being cordial. I have uncovered all kinds of stuff.
Oh, she already knows everything.
But just in case he was going to act a fool,
yep.
I was trying
you gotta be careful.
So I had spoken to him on
because she doesn't know who she's talking to. She has to be careful.
I was trying to get a hold of him for something, but I'm the one that initiated
the conversation
phone call in the coming days. Never heard from him.
Oh.
Never heard from him at all. He wasn't. His phone was.
He said he has a new wife.
Dead.
It was or
straight to voicemail.
Mr. Homeless just doesn't have.
Worried.
Oh, she thought something happened. Yeah.
Turned into a week. By the time I hadn't heard from him in a week, because I knew
she got worried.
He was not living anywhere but his car.
She got worried.
That I knew that. So this is what happened, y'all.
Ooh, one more.
I first reached out on Facebook. Remember, even though he has told me that he had all these siblings, we know he didn't have all these siblings. But remember, I told y'all I had met the brother in Augusta, and I had met the brother in Baltimore. These are people I've met. The brother in Baltimore I talked to on FaceTime. The brother in Augusta I've actually physically met, hugged, shake hands, all that. So I reached out on Facebook to people that I remember him talking about all the time. The friend Omar, the brother in Augusta, the brother in Baltimore, another cousin in Augusta. I was doing a search for these people's names, just like, hey, have you heard from Legion? The brother in Augusta told me, no, I haven't heard from him. I've been trying to reach him, but the phone's going straight to voicemail.
She's like, he's dead.
Living in his car.
She's like, he's dead.
So my brain was doing everything it could not to go
to the extremes.
On the deep end. I reached out on Facebook to the brother in Baltimore. And I said, hey, it
doesn't even go here. Let me put this where it goes.
And I said, have you heard from Legion? Now, mind you, the brother in Baltimore and him have talked on speakerphone. I guess it's important that I make that distinction. They have talked on speakerphone. So I know that they have talked at least in 2020. So I said to him, again, according to Legion, they talk all the time.
I'm worried this is going to be like, I never heard of him for 20 years.
So I said, have you talked to him? The brother from Baltimore informs me, no, I ain't talked to him. He owes me money. So I ain't got nothing to say to him.
Oh.
And I said, wait a second, like, he was telling me that y'all are brothers. He was like, man, he's like a brother. But I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with him because he owes me money. So they had not spoken This is now July 2021. They had not spoken in well over 6 months.
Holy.
So all the phone calls, this is what it means, guys. All the phone calls
fake.
that he had with the brother in Baltimore
All
in
everything's fake.
2021 were not real.
He wasn't talking to nobody.
Then I reached out to the Omar guy. And I remember the story is that he and him known each other's years.
Sure.
In California, worked together at the condiment company.
Ain't no California, so I mean that's where
Reached out to
that cat's already out the
Omar,
bag.
you know, have you heard from Legion by any chance? Explained who I was. He responds with, and I'll never forget it. He responds with, "No, I have not heard from him.
Yeah, I don't want to hear from him.
I have absolutely no contact with him whatsoever. We are not friends, and I would appreciate if you do not reach out to me again about him."
Oh.
The stories I was told was that this dude is supposedly his best friend. Shocking moment. So they had not spoken in years.
Every
They're
single
not cool.
phone call is fake.
He does
Y'all.
not fool with him. Okay. Went on to the next person, a female
This is
cousin
Hello
I had
Creedy.
met.
Hello Creedy.
She said, "No, I have not heard from him. Why would I hear from him?
Ooh. What she said?
We don't really talk." Like, I think she was genuinely weirded out by the fact that I'm reaching out to her out of the blue, asking, "Hey, by any chance, have you talked to my soon-to-be ex-husband?" So what I discovered in the
hell no,
ended up
I don't want
being
to see him
gone
for the rest
2
of my life.
weeks. What I discovered in those 2 weeks.
He went to the hospital probably, son.
Let me be very clear with the statement I'm getting ready to make. I reached out
Hospitals, right?
to every person I know.
Oh, person she knew. Okay.
Who apparently has had some form of relationship with him. Either he said that they were friends, they talked on the phone, he said they hung out. The brother in Baltimore, I was told, had been to the house while I was at work. Brother in Baltimore said, "No, that never happened. I've never been to your house."
Insane.
All these people knew that Legion was a liar. And I think that they all felt bad, with the exception of the Omar guy. Felt bad that I was kind of just discovering what they've known for years.
Yep.
In those 2 weeks, I found out every single person I reached out to.
The fuck with him.
Not a single one of them
Fucks with him.
gave a shit
That he was missing.
if that man was dead or alive.
Yep.
All of them had the attitude, some even said it, "No, I haven't heard from him. I don't care to hear from him." It was as if, it was, for me, it was such a sad moment, because
His life is a sad reality.
I discovered this man has no friends.
So no one. He doesn't have friends. He doesn't have anything.
Fuck whatever he has said. I am now able to prove it. He has no friends.
No family.
There is nobody
No.
who is concerned that they have not heard or seen him.
They're like, thank God
for
he's
2
disappeared.
weeks. Some people months. One guy years. None of them were
They don't
concerned.
give a fuck where he is. They're like, thank God I haven't heard from him.
So,
Thank God,
basically
honestly.
What I'm saying is that I discovered he had burned bridges
Oh, all of them are burned.
with everyone. Burned bridges with family. Burned bridges with so-called friends.
He,
Burned bridges with fake brothers, fake sisters, fake aunties, uncles, everything.
everybody,
He had burned
every single bridge that exists.
bridges with everyone. And for me, that was more telling than anything else. Yes, I knew he was a liar.
But
Yes,
to
I
this
knew he
extent,
made stuff up.
the extent is crazy though.
I was genuinely surprised to discover nobody
Fucks with him.
gave a shit about this man. No one.
Nope.
I had never met every single family member,
But
the fact that he was living in his car.
yep. Oh, wait. Oh shit. We were in part 45. Oh. 45, right? Damn. Wait. Fuck. I'm cleaning the keyboard. 40. I think we were 45.
All right, part 45. All
I
the
think
phone
so.
calls that he had with the brother in Baltimore
I think so. Hold on, let me see.
in 2021 were not real. that Legion was a liar.
Okay, yeah, 45.
And I think that they all felt bad, with the exception of the Omar guy, felt bad that I was kind of just discovering what they've known for years.
Yeah.
In those 2 weeks, I found out
Nobody gives a fuck.
every single person I reached out to, not a single one of them
Give a fuck if we
gave a shit if that man was dead or whatever he has said. I am now able to prove it. He has no friends.
No family.
Nobody who was concerned that they have not heard or seen him in over 2 weeks.
Nobody gives
Some
a
people
fuck.
months. One guy years.
No one cares.
None of them were concerned.
No one cares. Oh, my back.
So basically what I'm saying is that I discovered he had burned bridges.
Every single bridge is
Everyone.
burned. Every single bridge.
Burned bridges with family. Burned bridges with so-called friends. Burned bridges with fake brothers, fake sisters, fake aunties, uncles, everything. He had burned bridges with everyone. And for me, that was more telling than anything else.
Exactly.
Yes, I knew he was a liar.
But, like, to this extent, it's
Yes,
crazy.
I knew he had made stuff up. I was genuinely surprised to discover
That no one give a fuck about him.
nobody
Fucks it with him.
gave a shit about this man.
Nope.
No one.
I mean, you lie enough.
I had never met every single family member. But the fact that he was living in his car, the fact that he wasn't bathing and
It's phone
his,
cleaning time.
just had disappeared was shocking to me.
Like, nobody even opened the door, like, to let him take a shower or eat. They were like, sir, please figure out your life somewhere else. Please go be sad somewhere else. Thank you so much. Like, stop being sad in front of me. You're gonna have to go be sad somewhere. Like, that's how you know it's deep. Like, when people, like, because we all have empathy, right? Well, some of us don't, obviously. But we all have, like, empathy in some way. And for them to be like, you better go figure that shit out outside. That's how you know it's bad. That's how you... They were like, no, you better go be sad somewhere else. You better go... You're gonna cry about it? Well, you better go cry in the streets. Because you're not gonna cry in my house about it.
So, where was he for those 2 weeks? Glad you asked.
The hospital,
He
probably.
had checked himself into a behavioral hospital in Augusta.
Oh.
Why? Not to get help. No. This is July in Georgia.
I was hoping he got help.
It's hot as hell. It's sweaty. It's damp. It's humid. It's everything.
He ain't getting no
He
damn
checked
help.
himself into a hospital
Because it was hot.
so he could stop sleeping in his car for 2 weeks. When he checked himself in, they took his phone, and that's why no one was able to get a hold of him. And by no one, I mean me.
You.
He checked himself into a hospital so that he could have a bed for a couple of weeks.
Not even to change.
That's the type of human being.
He ain't change. I promise you he didn't.
Part 46.
One screen
Who
clean.
the fuck
Oh.
did I marry? So after the whole missing in action debacle, where
MIA.
he disappeared for a couple of weeks, Legion started calling and texting me.
Of
telling
course.
me that he was ready to come home.
Home?
Yes, you heard that correct.
Who's
So
home? We don't know
someone
her.
had told
I don't know who home is, but we don't know her in this story, right? Who is home? Who the fuck is home? I don't know who home is, but
that
he better stop
legally
playing.
He did not have to leave the house when I kicked him out because it was
Oh.
a marital home and he had just
marital
as much right to be there
home.
as
No, I
I
wasn't, babe. Huh.
So he started harassing and calling the shit out of me. He was calling, 30 times in 1 hour. He was Facebook Messenger calling me.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but and I hope I never have to kick somebody out, but if I kick you out, don't fucking call me. Don't what this man is doing, don't do that. Cause you're gonna meet the other side of me. He already met her other side when he wouldn't get the fuck out of that bed. And now he wants to call her? Don't call me. Cause you don't wanna know. You don't wanna know. You don't wanna know what I have to say. Like, if we know each other for that long and you try to, like, come back to my life, I told you I don't want to see you, like, not even painted on a picture, don't hit me up. And don't try to come take my shit either, because we're gonna have words. And I've heard many times that I'm very hurtful when I'm pissed. So don't come get me. You're gonna hear some fucking truths. And feel some truths. Because your heart's about to break. We're gonna be able to hear audibly the heartbreak. So don't call her and don't Don't, because she's over here picking up and shit. I will be taking screenshots to get a restraining order.
Let me be clear. Facebook Messenger.
Also, don't be telling nobody to hit somebody up. You don't know who this lady is. You don't know if she's insane. You don't know. This is how people end up dead. Don't be telling nobody, oh, you need to be in that house. Don't be telling people that. Don't be doing that. You're gonna get somebody killed. Don't be doing that.
He was calling me so much. He was messaging me saying, I'm coming home. I'm going to get some money and drive up from Augusta. You have to let me in
home.
the house.
No, but you don't.
It's not fair what you're doing.
It is fair.
All this other bullshit. I mean, it was non-stop. He would start calling at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know who home is still.
He would not stop calling until 10 o'clock at night. He was calling so much.
One clean phone?
Leaving messages, like I said, just straight up harassing me. So I reached out to attorney friends. I reached out to local law enforcement.
As you should, baby girl.
Local law enforcement informed me, well,
he does have to come back. I'm going to curl myself.
He's right. Because he is still legally your husband. Our divorce had not been finalized at this point.
I thought it was finalized at this point.
The
God
paperwork
damn.
had been sent in. I was just waiting on the judge to give me her signature. But it hadn't happened yet. So the local law enforcement did tell me if he comes back,
he has just lemon.
Our officers would have to let him in the house. You don't have to stay there. They gave me different options. I mean, I was trying everything in the book because he is saying I'm coming back to the house. I told him, do not come. You were not welcome.
You're not coming out. Go fuck. Who says you coming in?
The locks had been changed. The code had been changed.
I don't know who said he could come back in. He ain't coming back in.
This house, step foot on this property. I'm calling the police and getting you arrested for trespassing. You should know about that.
Yep.
He was adamant. He
don't want to be homeless no more.
He was allowed back in.
But that's just out to take. I don't understand.
I had with local law enforcement, but somebody was in his ear telling him, "Nah, you can go home because she's not allowed to kick you out."
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't know when
he wanted to come home. Maybe he don't have a home. This means something else.
For the gas to get back to Clayton County.
Oh, Ophelia.
I tried everything I could. Basically, what my options were simple.
Oh, Ophelia. One clean phone case.
And I can stay in the home, put him in a room, just have no dealings with him. But again, I don't want to be under the same.
Bro, I'm not scary. I will let him in and then be like, if you wake up dead, don't tell me anything. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I might clean a dish wrong and feed you some Lysol. I don't know what you think this is. You think you're gonna be here and being? I would put the music up to 1,000. You're not having peace in my house, bitch. I would take the pants and be like, because of me, y'all ain't getting no sleep because of you. Like I ain't getting no sleep because of you. You ain't getting no sleep because of me. I'm not sleeping. I'm a night owl. No one's sleeping in this bitch. In the morning or the night, I'm calling out and I'm gonna still be a nuisance. You're coming over here. But you're gonna learn who this bitch is. Also, I'm keeping mace on me. I'm keeping everything. You might be. Ugh, and that smell that he has on him. I can't. Please, girl, don't let him in. Don't let him in.
With him. This is what the local police told me. I could have an officer go room to room and let his body cam film the room to see the condition of the house. And if Legion showed up, I would leave the house.
Okay.
I can go to a family member's home and stay there.
Okay, but I'm not gonna be homeless. He is. I don't know why the fuck they're over here like, oh, he can stay in there. Why doesn't he just stay homeless? Why does he want to be in her space? Clearly she don't want you there. Are you not getting the memo? Hello? Jesus, this is why he has trespassing things. Because man does not understand. No one wants to see you. Not even your own family stand. When your own blood can't stand you, that's how you know something. That's how you know it's bad.
This is literally in August, right before my lease is up. So I was already moving. I had already secured another home. Did exactly what I said I was going to do. Moving to Cobb County. So
and she said she was
just
too.
Needed a couple of weeks before I vacate the home. So the other option was
and he don't know that.
Again,
he don't know that. He shouldn't
film the home with the body camera.
And then she
that
leaves.
Way it shows what the condition of the home is.
If anything's missing, we can call 911.
So if anything gets messed up, I can sue him. What am I going to sue him for? But nevertheless,
we did that, didn't we?
Or the third option is I can stay there with him. make life miserable. So my plan was the option of have them film the home. I was not staying in the same house.
Absolutely not, bro.
I didn't care. Also, there was no guarantee, and I told the officer this. Look, if y'all allow me to stay in this house,
he ain't leaving, is he?
I am telling you, by tomorrow morning, every utility in this house will be off. He will have no running water. He will have no air conditioning.
Me.
This place will feel like a sauna.
Me one.
Officer kind of chuckled and was like, again, ma'am, I mean, this is one of those domestic situations. He is allowed in the home. Okay. So, again, I had no idea when he was coming.
Which is crazy.
I was on pins,
by the way,
and needles every day. I'm seeing the phone ring, like I said, about 30 times every hour. I'm seeing the messages. I'm seeing this. I had reached out to a police captain. I had reached out to the chief of police.
Screaming at everybody.
I was trying to get help anywhere. Help. Like, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. So he eventually tells me I'm going to be there on Wednesday. This is just an example.
I don't know who Wednesday is, but she better not come over here either.
I had been calling a police captain who was really gracious, really kind, and was trying to help me because I was like, bro, I just need 2 weeks and I'm out of this house. And we already knew he legally could not go to the new house.
Perfect.
I was trying to see if I could move in early to the new place. The landlord was like, I really can't let you. So I felt like I was running out of options. He's saying he's coming. He's saying he's coming. He's adamant he's coming. I guess somebody felt sorry and gave him some gas money so he could drive from Augusta up to Clayton County.
He probably begged for that money on the streets.
Before all this goes down,
because he don't know nobody.
The police captain called me, and he informs me that they ran his name through GCS.
Wait, I'm excited. Which is
a database.
They took him away.
Law enforcement agencies.
He's in jail.
Turns out,
warrant.
He has a warrant for his arrest.
Yes.
So the police captain says this changes everything.
Let's go.
If he shows up to the house,
he's getting taken. Just wait.
Call us. I will have officers to your home, and they will simply arrest him.
Let's go.
So, I know that this is a short part, but I'm going to dedicate the next part
to
what happened when he showed up to my house.
Let's go. Oh, he shows up. He's crazy. Thank God.
Who the fuck did I marry? So...
Oh, Ophelia, you went in my heart just like a drug.
In August.
Ophelia.
Went to work.
Legion's a liar, doesn't tell the truth.
Woo! I had to look at the dates. It happened on a Friday.
Wait, I gotta wipe this phone down one more time. Just one more time.
Still, he was calling me, texting me, messaging me that he was on his way. And so...
the website from the dollar store for the products, by the way. I know people be buying them at, like, Amazon for, like, however many. This is, like, $1. And I'm pretty sure this was on sale because it was open or some shit, so it was, like, 50 cents or something. You're probably like, why did you get that if it was open? Well, it was on sale. What do you mean? I think it was this one. It might have been glasses wipes, but I think it's these ones. Anyway, because I opened it, like, everything was in there. I think someone just, like, opened the box. Like, everything was in there. I think it says how many wipes. Yeah, 50 wipes, and I counted, and they were on here. So I was like, okay. I mean, I'm taking it.
I was bit on pins and needles all day. I was dreading.
Girl was nervous.
A horrible feeling.
Yeah.
To dread to go home. So,
this poor lady.
He had called me and said that he was at the house.
No, he wasn't.
In the driveway.
Hopefully.
I guess he had to use the restroom, so he decided to go to the Walmart up the street to go use the bathroom.
He should stay there and live there, to be honest.
I wasn't answering text messages.
Oh, wait, he has a warrant. She could have called him and, like, he's there.
Hey, he's saying that he's at the house. The police captain himself
comes up there. Yeah.
Drove by the house. But I believe he drove by the house.
No one was there.
Legion went to
the
Walmart
bathroom
to use the bathroom.
Yes.
So the police captain was like, I don't see anyone there. But, again, when you get home.
If he's there.
If he is there.
Gotta call the police.
Do not engage.
Yep.
Call us. Okay? No problem. Because I got you on speed dial. So I go home. I'm on the phone with both my mother and my aunt on a 3-way call.
I would have been pissing and shitting myself. I'm nervous.
God, you know, what do we need to do?
Oh. I forgot this was here.
Drive into my subdivision. What he did not know was that he had backed into the driveway up against the garage.
Ooh, she can back him
My
in.
car in the garage. But what he didn't know
She can
is
back him in,
that
right?
at the time I was driving a fleet car.
Oh, so he didn't know what car was
So
coming
I
up.
wasn't even in my normal car.
He didn't know
And I
what
know
car
that
she was
he
coming
was
up.
waiting to see my car, the Nissan Altima that he helped get, pulled in to the
But
subdivision
he wasn't
and
in
then
that
pull
car.
in towards my townhome. That didn't happen. Because I'm in a different car, he didn't recognize it. So when I
Let's
turned
go.
onto my street,
He didn't know it was her.
as sure as it is hot in Georgia in the summer, that man was sitting in the driveway.
He was there
in his
waiting for her.
Taurus. Okay? So I live at the time not far from a cul-de-sac. So when you go straight down, you just turn around the cul-de-sac to come back up. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the corner, turned off so that I can see the house, but he would not have been able to see me. I went ahead and called 911. I was very calm. Told them exactly what the captain had told me to say. I was like, my name is, the address is, I need
ASAP,
police
Rocky.
here because my ex-husband is here. He is not supposed to be here.
He has a warrant.
And I feel as though I am in danger. She said, okay. Again.
Okay, so there's about how many pieces? Hold on. Does it say it? 142 pieces. We'll see what happens. I might pan down. I might have to pan down the thing so you guys can see it. But let me just unwrap everything. Listen, we're not getting sleepy today, and I need to hear my stories. Okay, so we cleaned. Now we played a little bit with fidget toys. We cleaned everything. Everything's dust free now. And now what we need to do, I might wipe the screens. I might not because they still look clean from last time I cleaned them, which wasn't that long ago. I cleaned all this regularly. I've seen many streamer setups that look insane, so I make sure I keep this cute. So yeah, we've cleaned and now we're doing this. But we're still listening. And I can't believe he has a warrant. Let's go. So she doesn't get to have this insane person in her house. But anyway, let's keep listening.
Regular phone call. She said, we're dispatching police to your home. As soon as I hang up, I then call the police captain. He immediately answers the phone.
Of course, he's waiting.
Got the call. I'm sending 4 officers your way. Okay, good. Get off the phone. Call my mom and my aunt back because they were both call us back.
And he didn't know that was her because of the car.
Call them back on 3-way. I continue to sit there until I see 4 officers, 4 cars pull in and stop just in front of my house. So then I ease up. He gets out the car, I guess trying to see what's going on. I explain to the officer that walks to my window. I say, this is what's going on. So I was trying to sound extra law enforcement smart.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, check him through GCIC. You're going to find that he has a warrant out for his arrest for violation of probation. The officer kind of smirked because she was like, we know. We already
Good.
check GCIC. The captain called us. So I was like, okay. So anyway, they tell me to sit in the car. They go up to the window of the car and ask him to step out of the car. He does. When he stepped out of the car, I was like, oh my God.
He was even skinnier, right?
I hadn't seen him since the end of June when I met him at the UPS store. And he looked bad then.
Ooh.
He was still in the same clothes.
Still?
When I told you guys when I met him, he was like a size 3X. What got out of the car
small
was easily a medium or large.
Ooh, what the fuck is wrong with him? I wonder.
That is how, and it makes sense because he probably wasn't eating. Except for somebody gave him $6 for chicken nuggets, but what got out of the car was something I didn't even recognize.
One little red one.
So he gets out of the car. They arrest him. There was no incident or anything like that. He was arrested.
Compliant.
Peacefully. They put him in the back seat. My neighbors are all looking like, what is going on? And so the officer comes up to me and she said, he's asking to speak to you. Do you want to speak to him? I said, yeah. So she walks with me. Keep in mind, she's wearing a body cam.
Mm-hmm.
So she walks with me to the window. They put the window down. And I remember looking at him. I was like, I told you not to come. And he said, I just wanted to get my stuff. I just wanted to get the TV. I said, what TV?
TV?
The TV that you gave me in the divorce? And he was like, yeah, that TV. And I said, it's mine. You gave it to me. I have the fucking text messages proving that you gave me the TV. And I'm trying not to scream because the neighbors are all watching.
Yeah, of course. I would have been watching too.
I know. I just needed my stuff. I'm
no,
sorry.
He didn't.
I'll never bother you again. I'm sorry.
He will be bothering her again.
I look at the officer and I was like, you have me out here with 4 fucking police cars.
Yep.
You have embarrassed me to no end. You have made a fool of me.
Yep.
And you got the audacity to now be like, I'm sorry.
The fact that she gotta talk to him like a kid is also crazy.
I'm like, fuck, you're sorry. So the officer was kind of like, okay.
Let's take him away.
I never want to see you again. He was like, you won't. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So I walk off. The officer,
as you should,
going through the stuff that was in his wallet. They took it out and put it on the roof of the car. So the stuff that was in his pants, like his wallet, his keys, they put it on the roof of the car when they had him get out the car. And so she's just like, I said, did you catch all that on body cam? And she said, yeah. I said, he gave me the TV. And she said, yeah. She's like, we're going to take him in and we'll have somebody look at him, because in her words, she said he's definitely having a mental episode right now
100%
in the back seat. And I just shrugged and I was just like, my God, I just said, I just want to be done with him. I just want to be done. And so she was like, I understand. I totally get it. So his car is in my driveway.
Oh God.
The keys and everything they took it with them, because I guess since it was on him, they took it with them for processing.
So the car is in the driveway now.
I think that's how that works, because I didn't see the wallet or the keys afterwards. So
they gotta pick it up, the car, I think.
So at this point,
send the tow truck.
Officers leave. I go into the house. Everything's peaceful and calm.
Thank God. How many of these?
A few minutes later,
34.
I go outside to check the mail. What's in the mail but a letter from the court?
Let's go.
I open it up. I go into the house because, again, it's hot. I had my wig on. My head is all sweaty and stuff. I'm just angry and
pissed.
Just angry.
This makes you look a fool.
My blood pressure. So I go in the house. I sit on the steps inside the house, and I open up the mail from the judge, and it's my final divorce decree.
Thank God, bro.
And I'm smiling right now.
She's probably crying.
When I got that
I'll be honest.
Decree sitting on the stairs, I broke down.
Of course. I thought so.
Ugly Oprah tears. I broke down. It was as if a year worth of weight
was lifted off her shoulders.
I broke down, and I mean, I wailed.
This poor woman, bro.
I broke down so bad. Next part. All right, part 48. Who the fuck did I marry? So after I finished breaking down, wiped my tears.
I had to keep moving as a woman as she is.
Still in the driveway. I couldn't park in the driveway.
Yep.
So I called the car company.
Told him to come get it.
I called the car company once before.
If you want to come and get it. No.
To ask them if they maybe had a tracker on the car and could track it.
Yeah.
And the nice gentleman informed me that the tracker had not been giving a signal off for about 5 months.
Ooh.
So he wouldn't really give me details on the car, but obviously the car had not the car payment was not being made on that
Yeah.
car. It had not been made on that car for quite some time.
Oh, so that's getting
So
repoed.
he and I split in June, but apparently the car payment wasn't made long before June.
Oh, God.
Can't speak to that, but he still had the car. So, called the car company.
Told to come get the shit.
Told them, I understand that y'all are looking for this Ford Taurus. And the lady said, yes, or you can make a payment. I said, no, y'all
Absolutely
can come
not,
get it.
girl. You can come get it.
Here's the address. When do y'all want to get it? And she said, well, I can have a driver come get it tomorrow morning.
Thank God.
I said, no problem. That car will be ready for you to get it tomorrow morning. And so the car was repossessed out of my driveway the next morning, Saturday. The driver was there about
Wow,
7
pretty
o'clock in the
quickly.
morning.
Let's go. Ooh,
He
yeah,
had
nice
the
and
master
early.
key for the car.
Amazing.
Cranked it up, drove it. Put
Nice
it on
and
the tow truck
early.
and left.
Oh, I love that for her. Nice and early. Get that out of the way nice and early. Ooh.
Here's what that now means. When Legion left my house in June, he left with 2 bags of clothes.
Now he has nothing.
Everything else was in my house.
He has nothing now.
At the end of July, or towards the end of July, everything that he had left in my house had been donated to the domestic violence
Of course. I mean,
shelter, which means that the only thing that Legion had were the clothes that he had taken with him in the car.
and now he has
He got
nothing.
arrested in my driveway. All of his clothes were still in the car. And when the car got repossessed,
That shit went with
morning,
it.
all of the clothes were in there.
That's not her
Which
business, though.
means that when he went to jail,
That's not her business.
whenever he got out, he only got out with keys to a car he no longer had,
Yep.
a wallet with probably no money in it,
Yep.
and the clothes that were on his back.
Yep.
Everything else was gone.
Yep.
Now,
When you a liar, shit tends to happen.
now we can fast forward to what happened around August 29th.
Whew.
So I was scheduled to move August 31st. Remember, I'm moving.
Oh, God, I'm nervous. The
to
day
Cobb
before she
County.
moves.
We had been checking the court documents. He had a court date scheduled for around
what is
August
this?
29th or August 30th. I don't remember the exact date.
No idea what that
Court time was
is.
supposed to be around 9 o'clock in the morning. My mom was watching the court filings online,
No clue.
and according to her, because I missed it, they showed him on the screen because this was still during Zoom.
No clue what this
They showed
is.
him on the screen, and then he was ushered out of the court into like a back area, and an attorney spoke on his behalf.
Oh, he wasn't even speaking.
Between the time that he had been arrested and the time of the court date, I had never in my life slept so good.
Ooh,
Truthfully, never slept so good. I was officially divorced.
Thank
I
God.
had no ties to him.
Ooh.
There was nothing in the house.
That was the best
of his
sleep of her
that-
life.
There was nothing of his that was still in the house. I felt free. So, when the court date happened and my mom told me what she saw on the Zoom, I was confused. Is he getting out? Is he having to serve time? What's going on? I called the courts. I tried to speak to his attorney.
probably can't know because they're
And
divorced.
his attorney had a horrible attitude.
Oh,
And
God.
was like, why are you calling me? And I informed him, I said, look, I'm a bit afraid of this man. So can you please just tell me if
What's
he's
going on,
being
yeah.
released, or is he going to be kept, or if he is going to be sentenced to a longer jail term?
Mm-hmm.
He said no, he's not being kept in a longer jail term because the warrant had expired.
Holy fuck. Shit.
So when the police arrested him, yes, it was a valid arrest, but
But
the warrant
it
had
expired.
expired. So I believe the warrant had expired like 6 months earlier, but
God
of course it
damn,
wasn't
bro.
put in the system. Which means that if the court date is August 29th, he's going to be released
The
August
30th.
29th or August 30th. I'm moving August 31st.
No peace.
So my mom was just like, please just spend the night at your aunt's house.
Yep.
Like, just spend the night at your aunt's house.
You just go to get
then
this
go
stuff
back
and
to the
leave.
house
Yep.
during the day. The movers will be there, and then just move.
Yep.
So that's exactly what I did, because there was concern that he
I mean,
would get
she
out of
doesn't even
jail
know him.
angry
Yep.
and catch a Uber with no money
Yep.
and come back to the house.
Yep.
Either for
I would've been scared.
retaliation
Yep.
or because he's just in a fucking manic mode.
Yep.
And so
I wouldn't have stayed there either.
I really didn't want to take any chances.
Same.
It's just that simple.
I wouldn't.
I did not want to take any chances. I knew that at that point, legally, the law's on my side.
Yeah, but
Y'all are divorced. You have no reason to be at this home. I knew that that's what the police would
but
say.
you can't
But
you can't risk it.
I wasn't 100% sure because, truthfully speaking, I did not know this man.
Nope.
We can make all the jokes.
Girl, we
want.
still don't know this man.
I did not know this man. I thought I knew him, but you never really know a pathological liar.
Nope.
So, needless to say, he got released August 30th.
I can't believe the fucking
I
warrant
went
was
to my aunt's
expired.
house for the night. August 31st, I went back to the house. The movers were there. They packed me up, and we got out of there so quick. I think they packed me up in about 2 hours.
Thank God. Oh, that's quick.
I honestly told them there is extra money in this if you guys can get me.
She really said, "Get me the hell out of here immediately, quickly."
Because everything was packed. But I explained to them this is a domestic situation. I
We need to be
you guys to
quickly.
move quickly. When I moved out of that,
I'm happy they
house on
understood
August
and we're quick.
31st, anything that Legion touched, I got rid of.
Thank God.
I sold the furniture. I sold dining room tables.
Ooh.
I donated plates.
She
glasses.
said-
When I tell you I moved out and I started over, I completely purged
Understandable.
my life. Completely started over. I mean, I was not willing to take a single item into my new home that reminded me of him.
Absolutely
From
not.
the dishes
And that
in
makes
the
sense.
kitchen to the towels in the linen closet.
Nothing.
When I tell you Amazon and Ross were my best friends, I mean they were my best friends because I could not fathom moving into
I can't even fathom
a new
lying
home, a
that
new
much.
space
I just can't fathom
with
that.
anything that
But I'm also not a
reminded me.
pathological liar, so.
I sold the bed.
Ooh,
Got a new bed. If he had bought me clothes,
They were
I got
gone.
rid of them. If he bought me shoes and purses,
Gone.
Okay, I kind of kept the heels, but
nah, wait. That's fair.
everything else I got rid of. So I completely purged my life. Completely.
Makes sense.
Started over from the bottom. In terms
Started from the
of
bottom,
just
now we
the
here.
move.
Started from the bottom, now we all. Yeah.
I could not take any piece of him with me. Could not. Part 49.
Okay.
Who the fuck did I marry?
To these.
So after the whole, I moved
Wait.
and I
Two
started
of
over. Basically,
these.
completely started over.
Two of these.
So there was a period of time where different
Four
people had
or
reached
one,
out to
two.
me. People who knew him.
three.
Apparently, he was still trying to find a couch to sleep on. And so
Good for him.
one guy in particular had reached out to me
And two-
because
wait.
I guess Legion had asked him if he could come
Wait a
and stay
minute.
with him and his family because he was
Four,
homeless and had nowhere to go. And so he had
Two of
lied and told the
these.
guy, because again, he's a liar. So he had lied and told the guy that, I had kicked him out. We're divorced. I had taken all his money.
I'm sorry, that's not funny.
So the gentleman simply
That's
was
not
reaching
funny.
out to me on Facebook to confirm what is actually true. And he and I talked, because he ended up calling me. He and I talked for a while. Very respectful, really nice guy, very compassionate. And so I told him, I was like, I said, we are divorced. So I have nothing to do with him. I said I wouldn't bring him in my house with my family if I were you. But that's just me.
How do I?
And so the guy was like, lady, he didn't say lady, but
yeah.
he was like, lady, you dodged a bullet. He was like, I know you may not see it now, my sister, but you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet big time. And so, just in talking to him, he was very encouraging, like,
Good.
it sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders. It sounds like you're a good woman. And no, he was not flirting at all. He was like, it sounds like you were
Yeah, he
good
was being
woman.
nice.
And I really hope this does not mess you up. Like, don't let him mess you up. Don't let him,
Don't.
like, diminish your shine.
Don't give him that. Don't give him that.
And I appreciate that. I did. Because at that time, again, had moved into my new place. 2021 was the worst year I ever had.
I mean,
I'm not saying that so that 2024 can be like, hold my beer. But 2021 was a dark year. Started out married, end of the year divorce, end of the year with COVID and divorce.
Oh God.
And that period of time, that August, September time,
Oh
I
God.
felt like I was just walking around like a numb woman. I didn't know if I was coming or going. I didn't know what to do. Because I felt like I had just been through hell. And it was a period of time where I had to sit down and I had to really deal
I
with
just
some
realized how
stuff
funny
that
this
I
is.
just simply
Me
was not
randomly
able to
building
deal
Legos is
with. Things that
crazy.
I had to come to grips with that I really wasn't ready to come to grips with. So, fast forward all this time, get to December of 2021. Yes, this is where the story does end. Get to December of 2021. I am out sick with COVID. I'm not at work.
Oh no,
I
COVID.
get a phone call from my coworker telling me that Legion has called our job looking for me.
All right.
And
For
is
what?
trying to get information to
Wait.
trying to
It's
get
not wrong.
information on how to reach me. Yes, I had already changed my number.
Thank God.
Again,
Girl.
I had already moved, but he knew where I worked. So apparently he had called trying to find me. And the person that answered the phone was like,
I don't know where she is. She don't work
"We're
here.
not
You know
gonna
what?
give you that information."
Exactly.
So he said, "Well, can you ask her to give me a call? I'm just
No, I
trying to get a
can't.
hold of her so I can get my stuff." The stuff he's talking about are those tote bags from July.
Girl, if you don't get over that.
So he was calling.
Yeah, I'm calling him girl. If you don't get over
It
that.
was a problem. He was trying to reach out to me on Facebook. He was trying to reach out to family members on Facebook, trying to get me to call him so that he could make arrangements to come get his stuff. The devil is a lie. So my friend Tracy, who
Oh, I remember
came to
Tracy.
my rescue again, my friend Tracy,
Like I know
was
her.
like,
I remember
"Okay, here's
Tracy."
what you're going to do. She said, "You're going to send him a message and you are going to say these exact words."
Ooh, she drafted that message.
Text message, she said, and she told me, "You're going to send a text message because it's going to be time stamped."
Ooh, perfect.
And
That makes sense.
The text message says, "I do not have your stuff. I did not have your stuff. I have nothing that belongs to you.
No, she don't. And she don't.
If you continue to, you are disrupting the work of my job by calling
And he is.
and asking for me.
And is.
We have no contact with each other. I will send you a copy of the divorce decree that shows whatever is in your possession you own, and whatever is in my possession
I own.
If you contact me directly or indirectly,
There's gonna be issues.
ever again, I will get a restraining order on you."
And will.
For those of you who are watching this in 2024, and you're probably like, "Wow, she's dramatic." Please understand.
Dramatic?
What I just said, I mean that. If you ever try to contact me directly or indirectly,
Hell
I
yeah.
will get a restraining
And she should. Dramatic for
in
what?
writing. I've always had it in writing. And if I need to rewrite it again in 2020,
It's not dramatic. She doesn't even know who this man is.
The boundaries still stand.
Damn, I don't know what to do. How do I do
Ladies
this?
and gentlemen, is the last time I had any contact whatsoever with my pathological...
With Liar, Prince of Fire. Yep.
Part 50. Who the fuck did I marry?
Honestly, we might have to give up with this because I don't know how to do this, but we're here.
There are some realizations I had to come to.
Was she crying? Wait, I hope not, because I'll cry too.
Divorce and everything had passed. One, Legion never loved me.
Oh, my heart. Wait. Oh my God.
He doesn't love himself.
Hell
so
no, he don't.
didn't love me. Number two, he didn't even like me. he watched me get excited about things that he knew
We're never gonna happen.
Get. And not even just the possession stuff. Like, of course, we know I was excited to be the woman whose husband is like, I'm taking my wife to London.
Yep.
I was excited to be the woman whose husband was like, yeah, I bought my wife a brand new BMW X5. You have to understand is all the jokes that we make about the BMW. It was the time and effort that he spent in taking me to dealerships.
Crazy.
And being sure to put me in the car and test drive the car and, you know, oh, I can see you in this. I like
God.
This. You seem safe. It was the effort to really make me believe
that this was happening.
That he was going to get this. Just for him to fuck with me.
Yep.
The effort in taking me to all these homes, to see my face light up as a woman who grew up on welfare, to be able to walk into these 4 and 5 bedroom homes, knowing that he didn't have any money to buy it. Imagine if he had just been honest and said, hey,
we can't afford this.
I like in my free time to go to open houses.
That's fine. That's fine. Yep.
Imagine if he had just said that versus wasting not only my time,
but their time,
but the wasting the time of the realtors who did nothing wrong. There's a level of cruelty to my ex-husband that I had never experienced before, and God knows I pray I never experience it again.
And someone's out there going through it too, which is heartbreaking.
That comes to mind when I think of him. He is cruel.
Yep, 100%.
And it wasn't just me. He did it to the ex-wife
and his family. So, that's why they don't talk to him.
Trust? No. I trust the people who were in my life before him.
Yep.
If we were friends or if we were in a relationship or whatever and I knew you before him, I trust you explicitly. But if you're somebody I just met, I don't trust you. I don't. There's no point in me getting on here and saying and making it seem like, oh, I'm so strong, I'm so brave. I struggle big time. Because on one hand, I want to like someone. On the other hand, I'm immediately thinking, what if it's a repeat?
And it makes sense.
And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I can't go through that again.
Hell no, you can't. And it makes sense you can't. Wait. Ooh.
Every single thing.
Maybe it's like this.
Relationship was a lie. It took me a while to realize
how deep the lies went.
Every single day, this man lied to me. Every single day, he lied to me.
Yeah, he woke up and just decided to lie every single. Which I don't even know how he lived like that. I couldn't live like that. I'm gonna be honest.
Was a lie. I will never know how much he lied to me. I'll never know. I've made my peace with it. I will never know how deep it really truly goes.
Wait.
I only know what I experienced, and I only know what God allowed me to see. But I'm willing to bet that there's a lot I still don't know.
Yep. There probably is.
When people say, oh, you dodged a bullet, like you just, and I've read a lot of the comments on this, and people have sent me a lot of the comments. And so I need to make one thing very clear. I am fully aware I dodged a bullet.
You did. You did, honey.
I'm so grateful to my God that I did not have that man's child.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry if that offends some of you.
But no, it's true.
But it's the truth. I'm grateful that we didn't buy a house and that I'm not financially tied to him.
Oh, thank God. Can you imagine? Because he's already traumatized. You imagine?
And I am also grateful for the fact that there are things about my ex-husband
that's wrong.
that I discovered in terms of how he is when it comes to other women. And I'm grateful that God has kept me and protected me.
Let me do this differently real quick.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So
I hope she heals and is able to trust people down the line.
And and I made the decision to tell my story.
But I get why she doesn't trust
My
people. Like, I get it.
was, I just want to help
Somebody.
one person. If there is a woman out there who's like, God, I want to be married, and I met this guy, and something don't seem right, but
Trust your gut.
Maybe it's not that bad.
Trust your
My
gut.
advice is, honey, just go ahead and do your research, because I can honestly tell you.
And Amber told her to do her research.
Being single sucks. Okay, in my opinion.
Being played with, girl.
But being married to the wrong person
Sucks even more.
is a type of hell no one should have to go through.
Exactly. I don't know where to put this one.
You should not have to be married to someone that does not like you.
Yep.
You should not have to be married to someone that doesn't even love you. And I know what that is like. I know what it's like to be told, hey, babe, I love you. And yet, I swear, I think that man sat back in the recliner with his WWE Championship Roman Reigns belt and laughed his ass off at me every day.
I hope he's laughing right now at the fact that he's alone and sad and no one cares about him.
I do. I really do think that. My radar was broken because
she wanted love. She wanted someone. But obviously, the devil was out here just
and I still
waiting to catch her
myself,
slip.
How
Wait,
the fuck did you let this happen? How
girl.
did you let this be your story?
Because why would you think someone lies this bad? Like, she would have never, like, you know what I mean? Like,
All because
you wanted
the
someone. It's
time,
okay.
I wanted it to be my turn.
Yeah.
And I hoped it was my turn. And when people say, well, what do you mean by that? I just meant, we all see it, whether it's social media or real life, we all see where the woman she done been through some stuff, but she finally met someone who appreciates, loves, and respects her. And it is a beautiful thing. I had hoped that
It was her turn.
Him,
It was her time.
My turn for that. And instead of being
You're traumatized now, which is
to be right, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the cost of that decision
weighed
was
hard.
heavy.
Yeah.
The toll of reliving this whole scenario was heavy. It was.
Yeah.
I'm almost surprised at how hard it was to actually finish this playlist. Not because I couldn't remember stuff. I probably remember way more details than what I actually put out. But it's just the fact that it's like I'm reminding myself
Of everything you went through. Yeah.
how did you let this happen? So, therapy is real.
Yeah.
Therapy helps.
Yeah.
Stella Rosa Black helps too. And yes, I will one day get to London.
Oh, I hope so.
Get my dark blue BMW X5.
And she did. I heard she did.
I believe I will get those things.
You got it for yourself. You're good.
Just got to get them a different route. So, thank you all for being on the playlist of Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Of course.
I promise I will go live, and I will let you all know when I go live so that we can have a wine night full of question and answers. Thank you for watching.
Well, thank you for telling the story. Jesus.
Who the fuck did I marry?
Whew.
So, the aftermath.
Wait, something's wrong.
There's some realizations I had to come to after the divorce and everything had passed.
Is this right? This doesn't look right.
One, Legion never loved me.
Wait.
He never loved me.
I thought it was 52 parts. Oh, what? We're done, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents, we are at the end of the line. Whoa. Yeah, no, this is wrong. I tried. You know, we might have to do like another stream for this because you are incorrect. Like, and this is part one. We're part one. I'm already confused. Maybe part 1 and 2 need to like coincide. I'm very confused. I'll be real honest. I'm very confused. Um, when I saw how little these were, I was so worried. Cause I didn't, like, I honestly didn't think it was gonna be big. But this small was great. Like, when I saw this little ass box, I was like, oh. But no, I don't. I feel like. Okay, so this one is this one. And it needs 4. Wait, no. That one is this one. And then it needs 4 of that one and 2 of this one. Right? Am I holding the right pieces? I just feel like it's wrong. Like, it doesn't look the same. It's supposed to look like this. And it looks like this. Hold on. So it's not right. Anyway, let me get the bag back that I put behind me. Because, honestly... So, she was very strong for telling her story. I'm glad she told us her story. I hope that by outing Legion, which is why you need to out abusers, by outing Legion, she was able to save somebody the pain and suffering she went through. I hope Legion gets real help. He probably fucking won't. I hope he gets help. Because honestly, she was the first person. And a lot of people think it's not real, but until you've met someone that lies for fun, you won't think it's real. But I'm glad that someone finally spoke up, because he had family that never spoke up. He had access that never spoke up. And this is how we got to where we are. So I'm glad she spoke up, because clearly he was just gonna keep running amok around town, just terrorizing women everywhere and friends everywhere. I don't know what he thinks reality is. I don't think he's all there. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like diagnosing people, but I don't think he's all there. I'll be honest. I'll be completely upfront with y'all. I don't think he's all there. There's no way he is. Because to lie about on someone, and on the dead too, that's insane. You know you don't do that. Everybody knows you don't fucking do that. But to lie on someone and then have them call them like he did to that guy that he needed to stay in their house is insane. You knew he was gonna call her. You gave him her number. You knew your story was not going to be collaborated. And we're all adults. Why the fuck would we lie? You know what I mean? So I just feel like he's living in a very different reality than we are, which is concerning. But I'm just glad she came out with her story. Because I saw today someone that said on Twitter, there's a content creator that's being outed as a possible abuser. And I saw someone on Twitter, first thing waking up, saying that the person that came out the little girl that came out, woman, actually, she's my age, I think. She should have taken care of this in private. So, I know that's a child. There's no way. I say it's a child, but I also saw a live stream, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, where a bunch of people were sitting there and just saying how they think like her story's fake, or she's embezzling the truth, or she's like making it like more hyped up, or like whatever. Listen, truth needs to be told to make sure other people are safe. And people like Legion, abusers period, need to be taken off the streets. And since we can't take them off the streets, only thing we can do, because you have to be almost dead or about to be fucking murdered to be able to get somebody locked up. So since we can't lock him up for being a lying ass bitch, we just have to take the L and speak our truth. So I'm thankful for Reesa for coming up about her truth. I'm thankful for the content creator that said everything about her ex, because this is how we get the number of victims down. Like, there's no way you think, oh, let's keep this abuser under wraps. You don't know this man, or they're like, oh, he wouldn't do that, which is probably how the people that were in Legion's life before were feeling. They were like, oh, there's no way he would lie this bad. And honestly, he's very elaborate with his lies. So, and it was COVID, so I see how she fell for it. She keeps saying she's smart, because I know deep inside she feels like she's a dumbass. You're not a dumbass. He's just a good liar. Don't worry about it. He's a good liar. There was lies in there I would have believed. I do love to reverse search things on Google, so that's a thing that's different. Like, I don't I wouldn't believe that. Also, there's just like people that have like money, they don't like immediately when the proof of funds, the first one would have happened, I would have been like, Also, going that fast, like everything was really fast. And I know COVID and everything, but I feel like everything was just fast. I feel like everything was like fast as hell. There's a lot of pieces, y'all. Like, I'm still putting things in. But anyway, I think we're gonna leave stream here after I finish shoveling all the white pieces into the bag. We're gonna do this on stream. Or I'm just gonna do a video or something. But maybe on stream. But y'all, it's gonna take me a long time because Miss Hello Kitty here has how many pieces? 142 pieces, and I think half of those 142 are just white. I kind of want to do the head first, like low key. Wait, so the blue part I'm doing right now is her dress. Oh god. And then white is her feet. White's her feet, hand, button, and face. The red is her bow. Do we know how to make her bow? The red is her bow. Oh god. Oh god. The brown is whiskers and eyes. The pink is ears and blush. The yellow is her undershirt under her dress. I don't even know. I don't want to lose any of these, so I made sure I put them. And I took the time to separate them, so I was not going to put them all together in one place. Also, the bag just instinctually just split in half, so... Anyway, I'm hoping that because this story has gone far and wide, a lot of people have seen the story and know what to stay away from, how to be safe around insane people. But anyway, I'll be right back 1 second.